you know what? I met my second husband on millionairematch.com is what it was back then. It was like 2002 or something. And back then, I was working as a webcam stripper. Okay, yeah, that was the thing. It was like before that, people used to do those like back in the 80s or whatever. They'd be like, dial this number and for some sexy woman to come on, and it's just like, $1.99. No, not one. It was expensive, right? I don't know, something a minute, right? $4.99 a minute or something to call on the phone, and then she'll talk to you and get you off, and what the hell ever. I was thinking like, what kind of man is doing that? Like, what? That's a thing? Okay, so listen. So look, during my, stint of the webcam girl thing, that was fun as heckalos. That was so fun. It was like being a stripper but not having, to deal with the clientele of the guy being like right in front of you, kind of like, right? And so you're like on there, and this is before OnlyFans. I guess they have that now. It's OnlyFans. Okay, I was like, so this is 2002, okay? You got the little webcam on your computer. I figured that all out. It's because I got fired. That's a long story. Yeah, that was criminal, actually. I got arrested. Yeah, I had probation and everything fucking thing. So I was like, okay, Minny, I gotta work from home. Okay, so I figured out a way to work from home. I was like, webcam stripper. Fun. Right? So that's how I met husband number 2. He was not a client, right? He was not a client, but he happened to be on one of those dating sites that I was getting my clients from. And I met him. We started talking on the phone, and then he came from California to Maryland and never left. He had 4 children later. So, and then, like, after my divorce, like, from him, I was like, let me see, Match.com, Harmony, like, what do I do, right? And I was like, I don't know. I went on Match.com. I actually did meet a good friend. We actually did end up, a lot. But yeah, a good friend, still, if still to this day, we could be friends, but we're not. Because he just want to fuck me. But yeah, what do you do? So, that goes the whole when Harry met Sally thing. Can guys be friends with women that they're sexually attracted to? I don't know. That's a debate, whatever. So meanwhile, right now, I'm like, okay, I had a Tinder account once. Swipe left, swipe right. I figured which one I like. Oh no, I like that guy. He's cute. But nowadays, right? So like with husband number 3, like he was the type who would definitely be like, there's some guys who are just like, I don't want that guy who's going to be like on Tinder, like always looking. Okay, that's the thing these days. Like I have 2 girlfriends with husbands, right? And nowadays it's so easy for someone to just go online and be like, I don't know. I'm unhappy in my relationship right now. So I'm going to go on Tinder and just be curious. And I just see ads like that. Like after I like got moved to Maryland and I was like done and I was like, okay, divorced and now I'm going to start dating. I was just like, you know what? Do you really want someone who's just like out there, putting themselves out there all the day long? Even if they're in a relationship, they are. And then they're like, oh, my wife is like, we're in an open marriage or we're in an open relationship. It's polyamorous, baby. What the fuck? No. I went through that with Jeff Mallery. He's like, hey, let's have an open marriage, right? And let's like invite people in and shit. And I was like toying with that idea for like a minute and a half, right? And like a long minute and a fucking half, right? And just been making him happy. Like what the fuck? I was like, okay, I'm a submissive. I'm an alpha female, like ordinarily, but with the right man, I'm like a total fucking submissive girl. And I love that shit, but it's true. It's my personality. But so meanwhile, I have that with Jeff, but I'm thinking now, I'm like, I don't want to be online. I just don't. I took down like one of my profiles and I'm just like, you know why? Because just like my 2 girlfriends that I'm talking to, right? My 2 girlfriends who have husbands and shit. It's like you open yourself up when you start doing that and it becomes like a habit and a go-to. When you get mad with the person you're with, you're like, you know what? I'm just going to go like outside the relationship or the marriage because it's easy to do these days. And you don't know who you're talking to. I was just like watching the news today and it's a huge deal, these things. AI, right? AI is like faking everybody out. Like I freaking thought my cousin was pregnant because she had like an AI generated ads running on her Facebook, right? That looks so freaking real. I was like, oh, my cousin's pregnant? I didn't know she had a baby? What the fuck? And I could like call her up and she's like, girl, no, that's AI. I was like, what? shit, right? So how the frick do you know? Do you remember that show, Catfish, in the 90s on MTV? Uh-huh. Right? And these people are getting catfish on the telephone, right? It wasn't like now where you're like, hey, here's my profile, here's my photo. This is fucking AI generated, guys. Fucking, that's not a real person you're probably talking to, right? Or it could be, but they're using AI fucking photos and shit. It's a thing, right? So I remember watching Catfish and going, oh, that's fucking crazy. Wow. And they like go bust the fuckers and be like, you're really a dude. You said you're a woman. Shit still happens, guys. It's worse now. So I was watching the news, and so they have these AI people selling like weight loss supplements, and hey, lose weight, and here's my photo of me, and blah, blah. And it is not even a real social media influencer. I had no idea, but I guess it's possible where people are making fake ID accounts, right? And pretending to be a real person, but it's really an AI. It's really AI generated, and they're making boom boom businesses, and they're faking y'all out on going, here's my, my business in Italy or whatever, and they show that the person is selling it, and everybody's like doing reviews, and it's fucking fake, guys. It's fucking AI. Look into that shit. It's called AI virtual influencers, right? Look that shit out. I was like watching on the news. I was like, people are getting tricked by this shit. Like, you don't know what's real. You talking to somebody on the phone? Is it a real person? No. All right. People are dialing me up like AI to sell me shit, and I know it's AI. Is that happening to you? Right? Are you getting phone calls and you can tell? And so they're like, are we in the generation where we won't be able to tell? And it's like, yes, we are, guys. It's like, you're getting food every which way. So you're going to go get food and dating. Food. Food. Jesus, me at words. Those dating apps. I decided, right? I don't want to meet anyone that way. I just fucking don't. First of all, I don't want the guy who's going to be like, that's my go-to. I get in fight. I'm going back on Tinder. I'm going back on Match.com. I don't want that guy. I fucking don't. I don't want a guy who's on there at all. I just don't. I mean, I get that some guys are going to be like, well, how else do I meet women? Like, I feel rejected, or well, how else? How do I do this? I don't care. Because you know what they're also doing these days? They are like using AI to generate pickup lines. They're using AI to generate like, how do I attract this person? How do I look cool? Did you guys know this shit? Like, I saw my teenagers doing that. I was like, what? You guys are using AI for dating tips and what the fuck? Yeah. It's just like, no, I don't want to be a part of that world. I mean, I'm too fucking old. Like, I'm going to meet somebody like strolling down the street or some shit. Or at the grocery store and like we bumped into each other and I like, crashed my cart into yours or something. I don't fucking know. But swear to God, I'll just nah. And plus I'm just not seeking. I'm not a seeking person. People usually are seeking me. Like, I have no problem. Like, I put in my ad up on Tinder the other day. Yesterday, 12 did that shit. I was like, fuck you, 12. Fuck you, get the fuck out. And I look at my inbox and I was like 20 fucking messages. I literally just signed it. Like, I put my photo up there like 10 seconds ago. I'm like, see dudes, I like have no problem. So it's like, there's no challenge for me. It's like, I could have like 5 coffee dates next week. I already got like 3 of them in my inbox going, cause you want to meet? Let's meet like tomorrow. I'm like, well, no, busy. So it's just like, no, I don't want to do that. It's like, I don't want to have like my calendar filled with coffee dates and shits with people already on Tinder having 15 other coffee dates and shits with 12 other fucking women. No, I want to be fucking special. Fuck you. No, never mind. Yeah, so that's my thoughts today on dating, and online dating. But yeah, I met husband number 2 that way. I met really cool. Oh my MG. Okay, so I did go through a cougar phase. All right, I gotta admit, I went through a cougar phase. I so freaking did. I was like, what's up with this cougar thing? I got a lot of young men interested in me. Like, kids, you fuck not. I went to Walmart yesterday. I got why the cashiers just talked to me. I talked to them, and was buying like some wine, and she carded me because I'm just used to it. I'm like, what? I just get it out. I'm just got her all the fucking time. And it's just a thing, right? And so, but this person, and they always are like, what? Whoa. The last person was like, I haven't entered that date in a long time. I was like, what the fuck? What the fuck? Yes, I'm old. So you don't look it. And then, yesterday, I went to Walmart, and she's like, you want to know why? You want me to give you a compliment today? I'm like, yeah, go ahead, girl. This was funny as fuck. She's like, I'm going to give you a compliment. I'm like, I've never heard that. She's like, well, I carded you because you don't look 20. Okay, yeah, okay, yes, That's the first time I heard that. This way. Nah. Okay, thank you. Bye. But that's a thing, right? That's like, I had a post like the other day, like on my Facebook, where I got like annoyed with my girlfriend because I posted that I don't age. And she posted on there, well, you don't age because you're black. And I totally went off, and I was like, that's fucking not even true. It's genetics and some shit, because I have black girlfriends my exact same age who look fucking like, I don't know, like so freaking old. I have wrinkles. I have 0 wrinkles. Like, what the fuck? I look 20. I'm 52. So meanwhile, I was like, that's not just true. Like, that's a thing. Yes, there's melanin in our skin or some shit. That, yes, blood, yeah, what the fuck ever. Okay, but I'm telling you, in my personal experience, as being a black person, not a white person who's like, oh, black people, I don't know, fuck you. Okay, I have tons of black friends from home, my same age, do not look like me. No, they don't. We don't all age the same. That's just like a stereotype, and I don't think you should do stereotypes. Even if you think it's positive, a stereotype. Don't do stereotypes. Don't lump everybody into one big old pile. And that's what pissed me off about it. It wasn't like it was a personal thing. It was kind of like, don't stereotype. Even if you think it's a positive thing. Like, I think they were like, well, Jewish people are tight and good with money. Just don't freaking lump people into that. So that's kind of why I got annoyed with that post, if you checked. But anyway, those are my thoughts today. Minny at 8. I am going to probably delete my Tinder profile. Just, no, I can't do it. It's going to be like, I want some kind of cute thing. Well, with Jeff Mallery, it was at the liquor store, and it ended up with me taking off my shirt. Now, that was a cute fucking organic story. I love that freaking story, even though it was a dysfunctional fucking alcoholic fucking story. It was fucking cute. I didn't fucking meet him online. Yeah. Anyway, so those are my thoughts today at 8. And if you guys are single, stay away from online dating. Just wait for it. Just wait for it. And until next time, guys. See you soon. So you know what? I was just thinking about my near-death experience. One of them where I was like, I had a seizure and Angel showed up and nobody was around. I was like on the floor, died. Completely died. Like, okay, right? So the question is, right? Is there life after death? Yes. Immediately, there is. Aunt Darlene, I'm sorry, but if you've been following my Aunt Darlene stories, right? Aunt Darlene is a Jehovah's Witness, and I guess a lot of the Christians believe, and a lot of faiths believe that, you know, when you're dead, you just are in the ground. I never, like as a kid, I never believed in that shit. Like, people who go and visit the cemetery, I don't really know it, but as a child, I was like, questioned that whole thing. Look, I'm a kid. I don't even know why I questioned it, right? I was just like, no, I'm not there. You're not there. Why? And then like over the years, they're like, well, it's about the respect, and we visit the cemetery. I'm like, you're not there. They're not there. And like Aunt Darlene was like, yeah, you're there, and your soul's trapped there with the fuckevers, and you wait until the second resurrection, the second coming or whatever, right? And you're there, and then you're judged and everything. And I was like, I thought when you die, you go right to heaven. Isn't that a thing? Like, no Christians, but I was so freaking confused, right? So, like, meanwhile, my experience is that, no, you're still there, right? Your spirit is there. It's still there. It's not going nowhere. So, like, when my mom, like, was brain dead and I had to unplug her from the ventilator, right? She was brain dead. They're like, no activity. Her whole brain shifted to one side. It was a brain hemorrhage. All her brain was full of blood. Okay. There was nothing there, right? But the woman still managed to cry a single tear as I was crying over her. I'm like, what the fuck? She's still in there, right? And then I had my whole, like, one of my near-death experiences where I helped her actually cross over. So if you meet those people, like, I used to think they were out of their minds and they were, like, satanic. I don't know what the fuck. Because I'm, like, I'm a Christian. I don't believe in that shit, right? This was me approaching them, you know. So they're like, yeah, my one friend, she's like, I hope spirits cross over to the other side. And I used to watch James Van Prague. If you guys remember that. And Sylvia Brown. This is the era I'm from, right? I was with Dr. Phil. Would always have, like, Sylvia Brown. Dr. Phil, then I finally met that motherfucker. Okay, whatever. That's a long story. Okay, so meanwhile, Sylvia Brown would be on Dr. Phil, and she's a psychic, right? And there was a lot of controversy about her. And I understand why now that I'm also a psychic medium. I'm a reluctant one, and I call myself a retarded angel. Actually, I am. That's another long story. But yeah, she'd be on there like going, yeah, I'm helping spirits cross over, and I'm psychic. And there was controversy because she got the messages wrong about this one high-profile case where she was like, look, there's a girl, and the parents came to her and was like, she's missing. Can we find her? Where is she? Right? Sylvia Brown. Like, look her up. It's BROWNE, Sylvia Brown, right? Big deal. And they like criticized her for getting the message wrong because she was like, your daughter's dead. Like, she's dead or something, and she got it backwards or whatever. I get that shit because that's a true goddamn thing. You cannot have the message 100%. I learned this over trying and practicing and trying to understand my gift, right? And Sylvia Brown's right. Like, so she messed it up, right? Because you can. Like, I had a vision, like a dream, that somebody is gonna be in a freaking high, like a freaking car crash, like it was like fire in the dream, like the car, it was like like fatality, right? I wake up because usually my prophetic dreams come to come true within 3 days. And I was like, shit, I got like 3 days to solve this shit. Like, who the fuck's gonna die in a car crash? Somebody's gonna fucking die. I was like calling everybody, and I was like, wait, do I really want to know? Is it me? So I try to be like real careful over the next like couple of days. And I didn't know what the fuck, because sometimes the dreams are not specific. Sylvia Brown's freaking right. It's like, takes a skill. You don't kind of get the messages like, hey, it's XYZ person that's going to happen. Sometimes you just get like the vision. You're like, oh fuck, somebody's going to get really messed up in a car crash this week. Oh no, what the hell? And so when she's trying to like zone in on the missing daughter right now, I have dreams like that all the time. I'm like, Jesus, could you stop sending me shit of people being human trafficked? I don't want those. Or like hurricanes and tornadoes and shit. Fuck that shit. Stop it. So she's right. Like, I feel sorry for her that she got such a backlash, but then I think she was using it kind of to make money, which I don't agree with. I would never make money off the gift. But so meanwhile, the car crash that happened, it actually came true. It was my cousin's. One was like she had broken her neck and then broke her wrist, and it was horrible. It was a tragedy. And for the longest time, I was like, damn it, could I have stopped it? Yeah. You know what I figured out? You actually can stop it. If you have like a prophetic dream and you see it ahead of time, you can actually change that shit. So that's another question that people ask. They're like, can you change the future? Yeah, you fucking can. So like when my son was born, Andrew, and at first I had the freaking premonition with my mom. Like, and I'm like a kid. I'm like, I think mom's gonna die. Mom's gonna die early. I don't know, it's premonition, but again, like the Sylvia Brown freaking controversy, you can't pin that shit down. I just had a message that I was gonna lose my mom early. And then when my son Andrew was born, like legit, my husband had to pull over. We left the hospital. I had to pull over, and I was like, Mom, I'm having a panic attack. And a panic attack was because I felt it. I was like, I'm gonna lose this baby. He's gonna die. I'm gonna lose him. And my husband like when we parked at like the CVS store, he got like a brown paper bag, and I breathed in it, and he was like, it's fine, you're just a new mother, bring the baby home. I'm like, no, this is something more, right? I feel this shit. This baby ain't gonna make it. And then when my mom, like, I kept asking her like how old she was, how old I am. I was like always so freaking hyper vigilant. And with my son, I felt that shit. And then when I married my second husband and he brought guns into our home, I had another premonition. I was like, your son's gonna die by gun. And I was like, oh shit, no, you're just crazy, woman, you're crazy. This premonition is not right. It's not true. So I was like, be careful then. So I was tried to like go be careful and be like gun safety. Lon taken to go gun classes, and then Lon was like, oh, he's fine. I was like, okay, no, but Lon, I got a really bad feeling. I got a really bad premonition about this kid. And Lon would be like, no, I'm teaching him everything he needs to know, blah, 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 yeah. And like for years, it just kept nagging at me. And then I had a bunch of warning dreams right before my son shot himself. Yes, I did. Right before my kids were taken out of my custody. I even had freaking warning dreams about Dr. fucking Phil. I didn't listen to my fucking warnings. So here's the thing. If I had listened to the warnings, I could have stopped it. I could have prevented the future. So yes, you can. That's the answer to that question. So then when I had my near-death experience in 2013, right, I came back after like 7 days of being trapped over there, right? I watched this movie called Interstellar with Matthew McConaughey. I love him. But I also love space movies, and I love movies about the future and time travel and shit, right? Like when I was a kid, I was like the Seven Sign Demi Moore all over that shit. any movie with angels all over that too, right? And I was just like, I love it. And so the movie Interstellar is kind of like that. It's kind of like explains to you. It's an experience where it's like past. Because I come back from my near-death experience. I was like, look, dudes, the time is like not the time that you think time is. When you freaking die, right? And when I have my alternate experiences on the other side, like I do, like unfortunately too often, it's like that movie Interstellar. It's kind of like it was like a black hole in that movie, I think, where it's kind of like time and space. So like time, like the past, the present, the future, like exists like in one freaking plane. Like you're right there. So that's why I go crazy when I get over there. I'm like, wait, what year is it? Wait, what the frick? I'll like be in a different year. I can see like what happens like in the future. And I'm like, Jesus, I don't need to see all that information. And then in that movie, if you watch it, it kind of like explains it. Because I try to explain my experiences to people there. They go like, I don't get it. And I'm like, just go watch that movie. Go watch that movie. It is freaking true. That's like my experience, man. It's kind of like when I was trapped over there, I was trapped in a space continuum that was just like not here or there. It was just like lost, right? I had to like find my way back. So it's like when you die, no, you're not gone. Like my mom, yes, her body was trapped there. Like when you go to the cemetery, they're not freaking there. I kid you freaking not. They're not there. They're not trapped there. But I'm sorry, Aunt Darlene. No, we're not trapped when we die in Earth. And I was like listening to this scary ass fucking thing my dad's second wife sent me. Like he got married because he was in prison and he was lonely, right? I think. I don't know. She's a wonderful woman, right? So she like we're still in contact with each other, even though he divorced. They got divorced in prison. But so meanwhile, they are Islam. They are of the Islamic faith, right? And she sent me this YouTube video and it traumatized me. I was supposed to be uplifting, right? Because I was telling her about my angels because they're here. I have them. They hang out. And I tell them not to like become a parent because they're scary as fuckers. Okay, angels are scary. So meanwhile, she sent me like this YouTube video that was like in the Islamic faith, right? You die and you're in the coffin and they come visit you, the angel of death or what the fuck ever. And they're like, hey, what prophet do you follow? And if you say the wrong prophet, apparently you get tortured in your coffin for eternity. I'm like, what the fuck? That's not Jesus. That's not what Jesus teaches. Fuck you. Fuck you. I don't know. I don't belong to your religion. No, I'm a Jesus girl. I'm a Jesus girl. That's not right? I'm like, no. I'm like, listen to that YouTube thing. It's like, yeah, you got to choose the right prophet. You say the wrong one. I guess it's Muhammad in that religion. Then you're tortured for eternity. Look, guys, that's not right. That's not true. The angels that I met are very merciful. And it's just like Jesus taught. I swear. I kid you frick not. John 3:15. Okay, John 3:15. They are merciful. And when I had my experience with the angel, you know, I was shown to repent for my sins, right? Repent for what you were done wrong in this life, right? Did you love others? Did you forgive others? Are you just like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, I believe in that. Like, truly. I believe in the gospel. I believe in Jesus. So that's just me. And that's because I don't actually, my experiences that I've been over there, I've actually been to this one scary place when I was trapped over there. I was this man and he was like in a cage. Kid you not. I fucking think hell is really real. I think there's a particular place for them. I'm not really sure. So when I was kind of like over there and one of my experiences, there was a cage and there was a man in it with no face and fuck all. And he was just like going, it was like a demon or some shit. I don't fucking know. And it was the only time in my dreams that actually dead person touched me. And I know when they're dead because they're dead. They're not a dream apparition. And then the dead person just touched me and I fucking freaked out and I woke up. I was like, fuck that dream, fuck that alternate experience. I hate going over there, guys. I hate it, but it's real. It's a thing. So that's why I don't visit. And I didn't want my mom to be buried, but there was a whole big family controversy over her burial. They're like, she wanted to be buried. I'm like, I don't think I ever had that conversation with her. So you really should, think about that. Have a conversation with your family. Do you want to be buried? Do you believe that you're still there? Should they come visit you? Do you want to have ashes? Do you know what cool ass fucking thing I want? I want to be a tree. Like, I love that thing. I want my ashes to be buried and I want to be a fucking beautiful tree. That's what I want. I want to be a freaking tree. You can be a tree, guys. Or you could be like, with your ashes. And my daughter wanted to, got me a necklace with my son's ashes in it. And with a Bible scripture on the back of it. It's beautiful. I love it. And then she also got the ashes put into a little container thingy with his name on it and doves and the date of his birth. I love that so much better, right? Than going to a physical place and a cemetery where that person is not there. So when they sent me my son's ashes, I literally I held the urn to my heart. It was so fucking heavy. I'm holding the body of my baby, my firstborn baby out of 6 babies, right? I lost him 7. I'm 8 actually. I had 8 babies in spirit here. It was like holding his body. That's how heavy this urn is, right? And I cried and I cried. And I held that urn in my heart. And I said, I got you. I got you. Right? But that's his physical ashes. That's not him. His spirit is always with me. So no, Aunt Darlene. No, Aunt Darlene. No. Whatever, y'all. No. When you die, you are not gone. I can attest to that. You're not gone. I'm sorry. Anyway. Those are my beautiful thoughts today at noon. And until next time, guys. See you soon. Oh my God. I am so freaking spun out. Let me just start by saying the conversation ended with, oh yeah, Daddy, you know I'm psychic. Yeah, I had this dream was going to happen, was going to come true. And you know Mommy, you know how when Mommy, she just met Lon, and before the words came out of his mouth, or any words whatsoever, she was like, he's going to kill you. And I was like, what the fuck? And I was like, Daddy, how did Mommy know? Right? Because he kind of really did. And I was like, how did Mommy know? Because she took me aside and she was like, he's going to murder you. He's this. I'm like, Mom, you don't know the man. He just walked in, he just walked in the door. And so I said that to my dad as did not know that a 30 seconds was remaining in the call because he's in prison for life. And I'm like, yeah. So, the first time Mommy met Lon, this is what she said, and this is how she reacted. And I was like, what? Why is this woman so... And then because we had just been talking about my psychic abilities, right? And things about telling the future and all that stuff. And then I was like, yeah, why did Mommy act that way? Wait a minute. I was like, Daddy, was Mommy psychic too? And he was like, yeah. That's where you get your gift from. And I was like, what? The shit my mom never told me. Was she psychic too? And then... boom! Thank you for using GTL. Thank you. What the fuck? The call ended. I freaking hate that. Now I'm in suspense. I'm like, what the fuck? Okay. So I don't know if you've been following my, my blog, blah, yeah. But I have this blog going, the shit my mom never told me, right? And how you can grow up in a home with a parent or parents and absolutely know nothing at all about them, right? And so I was like, I learned so much about my mom after she died, right? I learned about some salesman who came knocked door to door and apparently raped her, right? What the fuck? Mom never told me this, but why would you tell a child this, right? But it really does kind of define the type of parent you're going to be, doesn't it? Think about it. Think about it for 1 minute, right? And then my dad's always going off to prison, robbing banks and cheating on her. And, I freaking got in the middle this one time. Listen to this interesting story, right? So, here I am, la, Lynette, that's me. I'm going, next door to my friend's house, my girlfriend's house, right? We're hanging out right next door. And under the bed, look, I'm old. You just look. If you old people are listening, you're going to appreciate this goddamn story if you're old, all right? Like me. All right, so I'm at girlfriend's house, right? I don't know what the fuck we're doing. And so we're under the bed or under the mattress or some shit. We find these magazines, right? I'm like, what? They're these magazines of nudie girls and shit. I think it might have been Playboy or Hustler or something. I don't freaking know, right? We're looking through these magazines and shit. So I'm looking around her room because I don't think I've been over there, right? I roller skated down the hill there. I used to love to roller skate. That was my thing, man. I could go backwards. I could do twirls and circles all shit. I could do some moves on roller skates. Now, ice skating, I'll that's another story. It involved Godzilla movie. Oh, yeah. No Godzilla movies for me. Ice skating. I fell down 15 times. And it's back to the Hustlers and Playboy magazines. Meanwhile, so look, somehow I happened to find this picture, right, of my daddy with her mommy. I don't know, was it in a shoebox or something? I don't fucking know. I was like, that's my daddy, right? And so somehow it got back that my dad was cheating, right, with my girlfriend's mother. Oh, yeah. Big deal. It blew up. Somehow mom ended up stabbing dad, and I don't know, but it seemed to be my fault. I don't know. So meanwhile, it's like all these things you don't fucking know, right? So like after she died, like I found out that actually that incident was a big deal, okay? So it was kind of like they were both cheating on each other, and then dad went to prison, and then somehow I got in trouble again, man. Somehow, I don't know what the fuck. I guess that's why I talk too much. I always got in trouble. Somehow mom was cheating on dad when he was in prison. Then when dad came home from prison, somehow I let the beans out of the bag. Wait, is that it? Let the beans out of the bag? Oh, something like that. You know what the fuck I'm saying. Okay. I spilled the beans. That's it. What the fuck ever? Same thing. Same thing. The beans came out. The beans were spilled. All right. And then because of that dang on thing, they had a big fight. All right. And so I don't know. It's intriguing though. This shit that you don't know about your parents, right? And how it shapes them as parents, right? So then when mom meets Lon, right? And instantly, she hates this man. I was like, what the frick, right? So for years, my grandma too, right? And he came in between me and my grandma. And I was like, this is a problem. But by the time I had discovered it on my own, right? When I got out of the whole infatuation period of time, I was like, yeah, this man's evil. There's something wrong with him. There's no wonder. These women saw something. But now my dad's got to add a whole psychic component to it. Now I'm fucking intrigued as fucking hell. Because guess what? Earlier I was talking about Sylvia Browne, right? Browne. Sylvia Browne. Dr. Phil episodes, right? She's always on that fucking show. She was back in the day. So interesting, right? And she'd like pick people from the audience and like do these readings. I would be like glued to the TV. I'd be like, what's Sylvia going to say to you now? Like, is she sensing a dead person next to you? Is there a dead person next? I love that shit. I like sitting like James Prague and he'd be like, I'm sensing your uncle, Joe. Is there someone here? That starts with the letter S. This is the thing. I always used to go, isn't that some fucking fake shit, right? I'm like, it's gotta be fucking fake. Alright, so look, I don't work that way because I don't get that. I don't get that whole letter thing. When he used to do that, I'd be like, is someone here with the letter J? I'm like, isn't that so fucking generic? Like, if I like took an audience and I was like, hey, did somebody die next to you with the letter S as the first name? Oh yeah, that's you. That's so fucking fake. And so you gotta parse out what's fake and what's not. So what intrigued me right now, right, is my dad saying, oh, you get that from your mother. When I don't know what the frick he's talking about. My mom never told me she had any kind of psychic gift. That was never a thing. She was anti-doctor, anti-psychology. When I changed my name, she was like anti-that. I mean, it was just like, what? And now you're going to tell me my mom had some kind of mystical thing that I have no frick idea about, and that kind of crap is genetic, though it can be. I'm like, so, man. And so when he said that, he's like, oh, well, we're getting new tablets and we'll talk more about this then. And I was like, wait. And it was like, thank you for using GTL. I'm like, you fucking prison system. I fucking hate being timed on calls. You only have 15 mofo minutes. And you know how frustrating that is in person when you haven't seen your loved one and they like block you and they put all these damn rules. You know, one time I went to see my dad and my skirt was too short. I'm like, my skirt is too short. They're like, yeah, you can't see it. I like driven like, I don't know, 6 hours to like the freaking mountains of fucking West Virginia or some shit. And I was like complaining and I was like, my skirt is too short, the fuck? No, that's the thing, dudes. I mean, there's like a dress code at some of these places, or it was back then. And I had to like leave my place. First of all, I was standing in a long ass line to get there. My dad was waiting. You only have a certain visitor window, right? It's like rules. Oop, burp. What the fuck did I say? Burp something. I'll get back to this. That's like rules upon rules when you go visit your loved ones in prison, right? And so back then, I had to leave and like go to a freaking local Walmart, quickly find something to wear that wasn't apparently too short or provocative as shit, right? It was unbelievable. I don't remember that dress. Actually, that dress is kind of cute. I don't know where it went. I got that dress, goddamn. Anyway, it was a cute little dress. It was apparently too short. What the fuck? So I guess like girls, you know, women who haven't seen their husbands in so long, they have rules against that because they don't want any sexual, you know, interest or what the fuck ever. But here I was like an 18-year-old going, what the fuck? I'm just wearing this cute fucking dress shit. See my daddy. What the fuck? But anyway, I will be intrigued, guys, to hear about what the heck did my mom have a psychic gift she never told me about? What the fuck? I would have loved that shit. We could have talked about it, compared notes and shit. Total secret. What the fuck? So you could have a parent, don't know shit jack shit about them. They could have the same interests you fucking have. You didn't even know until they're fucking dead. You'd be like, hey, mom like that too. What the hell? We could have bonded. So, message today. The people around you, do have like some freaking gifts or talents that you don't even know. You can connect with them on. I don't know. They like to play cards and you guys just don't play cards. I don't know. Maybe it's your secret hidden freaking fantasy game. You like it and your friend likes it too. And you just don't tell that friend because they'll think you're weird. Right? Just like if I say, hey, neighbor, new friend, I'm psychic. Are you too? She'd be like, I'm weird as hell. So sometimes you're just afraid to bring shit up. But guess what? If my dad hadn't have brought that up, I would have never known. I would have died and not known that my mom perhaps had this also same gift. Now I'm going to have to wait. God damn it till the next prison phone call. Oh, and the prison won't let him name change. He's trying to change his name. And the Virginia Commonwealth. The state of Virginia will not let my daddy change his name. What the fuck? I had to look it up. And yeah, the Supreme Court in Virginia says you can't change your name. We'll see. This is Minny at 4. Until next time, guys. See you soon. So you know what? I was just thinking about that quote that I posted the other day because I do mini quotes. I'm actually going to be putting out a book soon on my mini quotes. It's like murder here, murder there, murder everywhere. Growing up in Baltimore for me was exactly that, right? And like the first time I saw someone die in front of me, he was running from the police, right? So here's the thing. I got the bus like everywhere. I was like really independent, like early, like at age 12. Like our parents were like, let us run around. So we had to be back by the time the street lights were turned off, right? It's like the street lights turned off. You got to be, or turned on, what the fuck ever. They turn on, right? They turn on. That means you're supposed to be at home, all right? If you're not home when the street light turns on, you're in trouble. For me, that meant like I got spanked with a belt, like naked with a goddamn on belt. If I was like 5 minutes before I could pass this dang out street light. Kids, you fuck not. That was my life, right? So meanwhile, I'm like walking down Lexington Market Street. Nobody knows this unless they're from Baltimore, right? Lexington Market Street, right? Back in the day where it used to be, oh, so cool, right? It was like equivalent of like you guys' Seattle Pikes Market or something street, whatever. It's kind of like that, right? So I was like going down there, and I hear like a ruckus, right? I was running, some guys running from the police, and then I hear boom, 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 boom. And I'm like, what the hell? Gunshots. Because you got to know that growing up. You know what the gunshots sound like? It's kind of like you wake up hearing that shit. And so I look and I see the man fall down, right? And he's not moving. And the police grab him and he's dead. I swear, I don't know, or mortally injured or some shit. And I'm like traumatized. Here I am, like, I think 11 or some shit, right? I'm like, oh my God. I go home, tell my mom. I'm like, this is what I saw, right? Like, kid you not. And like the next year, right? I was like, in the car, like going to my Aunt Esther's house. And there was this man that was drug overdosing, like right outside our car window. And it was they out of the car and they're like, oh, it's blah, 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 something, their friend or whatever. And they pick him up and they're like walking him around in the rain, right? And trying to keep him alive, right? So when I think about my trauma history, right? Because that's just like a tiny portion of it. Like literally when I was, about to go, I need to go to college to get the fuck out of this Baltimore City, right? I'm going to be far, far away from here. Like, the thing that culminated, like, I think a big piece of my trauma history. So when people talk about trauma, right? I was like talking to a friend of mine, and he was like, well, I'm so tired of people talking about trauma, you know, blah, blah, blah. Everybody's had trauma. Yeah. You know, some people are like that. They don't get it. But look, it's a thing. So it can affect you early on, like your children, anything they see or they perceive as traumatic to them, you should not downplay it. Like, but for me, right, it's a severe, like, so like I was 17 on my way to college, like I was a runaway, actually. I ran away from home. I had to run away. So I ran away. So I was kind of like couch surfing, but like right before, I like, unfortunately there was a drive-by shooting. Drive-by shootings are a goddamn thing, right? They were back when I was growing up there in Baltimore City. The worst place, Biddle Street, East 33rd Street. Oh my gosh, because we moved from Argyle and then we went to I thought Argyle was bad. Oh, no. It was like Biddle Street, like East 33rd Street was the worst, right? And I'm like at the freaking payphone, right? Back with you guys. Okay, this is payphone time period, all right? I'm on the goddamn payphone talking to my girlfriend, right? Because I didn't have a phone. My mom, we never had a phone. It was young. We can afford it. I don't fucking know. So I used the payphone. I'm like on the phone talking to my girlfriend, right, Marnetta, and I hear gunshots again. I'm like, shit, duck. I'm at the laundromat in the payphone, right? And it's like, no, walk out. I'm trying to escape that shit because I'm like, shit, the bullets whiz by like every day, man. And I come out and I see this father holding a child, and it's later I watched the news and found out it was a 4-year-old daughter, and he was cradling her, and she was bloody, right? She got injured and shot by the damn drive-bys because they were driving by shooting at each other, which they kept doing. And they did this like all the time, like freaking every day, man, there was a drive-by going on. And I saw her and I saw that baby and I was like, I gotta get out of here. This is like Murderville, Murder City, murder everywhere, every damn day of my goddamn life, right? And I'm like seeing him whisk her off, and it was like a freaking war zone, man. Like the cops were coming and people were screaming and yelling, and I was like, I have to go. I have to get out here. Mommy was right. I need to go to college. Can I? I was like so lucky because I worked so hard and I had 2 different colleges that I could choose from. And I was like, yeah, I gotta pick one. I just need to get the fuck out of Baltimore City. And so, you know, I know there's a big thing, you know, people are becoming more aware of what trauma is, right? And mine's like on the drastic side of it, because I kind of just grew up with like being traumatized like every freaking single day since the day I was, I guess, born, right? And so when I was in rehab, they're like, they make it a point to say, don't say that your pain or your trauma is worse than someone else's. And I struggled to do that because I was like, dude, have you seen a dead body? Have you, you know, were you like, did this happen to you? And I had to go like, wait a minute, they're right? So don't do that. Don't, you know, if somebody's like, hey, I have a trauma history and it's affected me and I'm, you know, I have PTSD and because some people be like, you don't have PTSD, you know, this little thing happened to you. Move it on, get over it. And you should not like view it that way because it's a real thing. I love that book, The Body Keeps the Score. I have it downloaded and I'm supposed to freaking listen to it and shit. By audio, have audiobook, but The Body Keeps the Score, right? And so when you're thinking about trauma and things you've gone through in your life, like for me, like there was freaking severe. No wonder I'm freaking dying of freaking stage 4 liver cirrhosis. And I have broken heart syndrome. I'm not fucking surprised that I have broken hearts and my heart is fucking broken. Literally and figuratively, metaphorically also. So meanwhile, I get on a tangent, don't get me started. Meanwhile, the point is that the trauma that you've suffered, like if there's something like that and it keeps going and you don't get therapy for it and you don't like resolve it, it does have an effect on like your physical medical condition. It really does. There are like studies on this shit, guys. There's studies where I guess it's kind of like the old thing where they're like stress kills. Same goddamn thing. Stress does kill. It fucking does. So that's post-traumatic stress disorder is stress, right? So when I was in like rehab, and I love that like the shit I learned in rehab, that's like a whole nother vlog. I like rehab. They just have like a lot of dumbass rules. Yeah, stupid. So, and like I was in group and I was like explaining my trauma history because I could only explain it in like a freaking snippet because I can't go through like all freaking 52 years of the fucking trauma, right? It's too fucking much. That's why they just diagnosed me with complex PTSD. That's the other thing, guys. You have PTSD, but you also have complex PTSD, which is a whole different thing, which is what I also have. Mix it up with a DID, just a big super mess here. But the guy, like, during the recovery, and when I was in rehab, and I told my story and kind of it, he was like, Jesus, why aren't you, like, doing crack? Why is alcohol your only vice? I was like, dude, you got a point. I was like, thank you, Jesus. I never tried drugs, right? Except for THC, which, you know, maybe makes me crazy. Yeah. Yeah. And he was like, why aren't you doing crack? And I'm like, this guy totally appreciates this shit I've been through. That is exactly how I would explain it. If I told someone everything that happened to me, they'd be like, you should be like shooting up heroin, girl. The fuck? Alcohol? Good for you. Anyway, so my message today is, you know, the body keeps the score is a good one. Also for trauma. Also, they have a lot of workshops, which are cool. I went to this one virtual online event, which was for survivors of trauma and all of that, just to understand more. You can do webinars. You don't have to go anywhere. You don't need to go to a therapist if you don't want to. But I do support that whole educate yourself. Like, you see something traumatic when you were a kid, and you like tucked it away and forgot about it, but it could have like affected you somehow. You know, something happened to you that was traumatic for you that might not be traumatic for someone else. You know, that's the thing. I mean, something can happen, the same exact event, one person can go through and they can be fine. They might be depressed a bit, go the course of antidepressants and be fine. And then it happens to you and you're just like fucking wrecked. And you're like, what happened here? I'm wrecked. Like, I'm wrecked. And that happens, you see. And it's just that all but depends on how you perceive that event. Like, someone else going to Lexington Market that night, that day, or whatever, saw someone, the police shoot someone for running away. They might have just gone about their day and be like, oh yeah, that criminal, whatever. Okay, but for me, I was like, what the hell? I was like scared. It was totally like, it affected me, and I was like, the police can do that? Like, they can do that, mommy. Mommy, hello. I was like, and so I was traumatized, you see? So there is a difference in how the perception of one event can affect one person versus the other, you know? So anyway, that's my tidbit for today on trauma. And yeah, so anyway, I don't know what I'm going to do today. I think I'm supposed to be working or some shit, but I decided to kind of do like a unscripted random thing. I don't know why I was thinking about it. Oh, I know fucking why. I was watching the damn news. This is why I should not watch fucking news. I swear it depresses me as hell. I was watching the news and something was on there about, I was watching Dateline too. God damn it. All these things about murder. So that's what came up. So murder. And so I was thinking about my quote. It was like, murder here, murder there, murder everywhere. And I started thinking about my childhood. So there you go. All right. I'll talk to you guys later. But this is Minny at 8. Until next time. See you soon. So you know what? I just hung up on the judge on my case. I don't fucking care. Arrest me. Been there, done that, got the shackles. I was leg shackled before. I was put in, jail before for contempt of court. I don't care if you're a fucking judge. Whatever. Then I realized, I was like, Minny. Okay. First of all, I shouldn't have been on the phone with the motherfucking judge to begin with. Didn't ask to talk to him. Second of all, I'm like, you know what? I think I'm like frustrated, right? Because this is a goddamn ticket, right? It's a fucking ticket, yeah? I have my cell phone in my hand. So, I'm not supposed to. So, goddamn it. Oregon, you suck, right? I know you don't suck. It's a good law. It really is. But really, it was a split fucking second. All right. So, meanwhile, right? I'm like thinking about it. I'm like, you know what? There's that thing, my brother, right? He gets to get pulled over all the time. He swears to God it's because he's black, like driving while black, right? And I'm not one of those people. Like, I have enough reasons for people to fucking be annoyed with me. I don't need to use the black thing. They can be like, she's annoying. She is mouthy. She look crazy. yeah, she loud. So many fucking reasons, right? Like she's a woman. It's just like black is one of them, but yeah, that's not my go-to. But it's like my brother, like black African man. I get that shit. Like Baltimore City, always getting fucking pulled over, right? And so I was like, you know what? You're frustrated with the system, right? Because here I am talking to this judge about this statute, right? We're arguing about it. And I'm like, look, you suck. And I'm click. See you later, judge. Fuck you. And so I'm like talking to my ex-husband like Lon, and I call him Teflon Lon. You know why he's Teflon Lon? Do you know who Teflon Don is? Like, Google that shit. Teflon Don. He was like a mafia boss in like New York. And he kept getting away with everything, right? And this is how, I guess, people feel. Like me. I'm like, what the fuck? I am like a good law-abiding citizen. And I get like busted. But like all these people around me are like criminals as fuck. Like Teflon Lon, like my ex-husband. He would be like straight up driving drunk. Like one time we were like driving cross country. He had like a whole freaking pound of pot like in the car. And we got like pulled over and there was a dog like alerted on the pound of pot in the fucking car. And then the officer like noticed it and then let him off. Like, right? And then we would be like, he'd be speeding, like going like 80 miles an hour. He'd, pull over. He's white, he's 17 years older than me, white, right? And, elderly, right? Looking, appearing, and like, officer, I'm sorry, I missed you. And at one time, the officer was like, well, I could get you for reckless driving. But he didn't, man. This man has had 0 tickets, right? Has driven drunk, cross country, and anytime he gets pulled over, right? They let him right off. My brother, tickets every time. Right? I think he's in jail right now, actually, or about to go to jail again for the same kind of amount thing. Yeah. And so me, right? I'm like, what the fuck? Teflon Lon, right? Gets off on everything. Here I am with this texting while driving, and this judge is like, I'm not even going to let you get off on a first offense for texting while driving. Boom! Hammer you. And like, here's another example. Here you go, right? So I'm like in Wyoming, right? Driving cross country and I'm speeding. The car in front of me, right? It's got a Texas plate on it. And I'm like, oh yeah, Texas, right? They're like renegades. Oh yeah, that's what they're named for. I love Texas, right? And so Texas was like speeding. And I was like, oh, I'm going to follow Texas. And that was the nickname for the car. We went miles and miles, right? Through the state of freaking Wyoming. Because I was going from Oregon to Maryland, right? And I was like, look, it's mountains. There's nothing around. There's nobody. Nobody going to get hurt. I mean, I could speed like Texas, right? So I'm like following Texas, la 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 la, like speeding. I got 3 babies in the car. I'm like, we are making good time, la 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 la. All right. So meanwhile, I'm like, oh shit, now I gotta pee. I'm like, okay, Texas, let's speed it on up. Texas whizzes right past me, right? Guess what happens? Boom. As we reach the town, right, and I see the town right there from all the mountains there were like 2 freaking troopers parked right there. I was like, shit. I know I was going like 30 miles over or some shit, right? Because I was like, there's fucking nobody. It's a fucking desert, right? It's fucking Wyoming. In the middle of no goddamn war. No street lights, no nothing. I'm just going to go a little fast here. And so I got busted. Yep, pull it right on over. And I'm like, what the fuck? And like, so as the officer is like, how they come up and they roll your window down or whatever. I see Texas going right past me. I'm like, what the fuck? Texas did not get busted, but I did. I'm just like, what the hell? And then my ex-husband, Teflon Lon, no DUI. No. Not a one. Not a freaking one DUI. No. But that man, I can attest to, has driven drunk so many fucking times. And you know what? Once, I messed up. New Year's Eve. I was living on a federal base. People always wonder, like, how did you live on a federal base when you weren't, like, in the military? Hear me in words again. I don't know, because I'm me. I pull that shit off. So I was living on a federal base, and it was, like, right across the street. The bar was literally right across the street, right? And it was New Year's Eve, and I don't know what the fuck happened. I had, like, a couple drinks, and something really crazy happened, and I ended up going, no, I'm not going to get an Uber. I'm going to go right across the street, right, the base is like right there. I can do it. I'm going to right across the street. And I did go right across the street. And they're like, you hit a curb. Now you have a federal DUI. I'm like, what the fuck? Oh, God damn it. I had to argue that. So meanwhile, Teflon Lon gets away with it. Meanwhile, I, hung up on the judge today. I don't fucking know what's going to happen tomorrow. So We'll see. Probably gonna throw the book at me. Anyway, this is Minny at 3. And until next time, guys, I hope I don't end up in, contempt of court. I'll see you soon. So you know what? I swear, I'm going to give up on dating. I'm not even going to try. I swear. And this is why. All right, and so look, listen. All right, look, if you're in a relationship with someone right now and you don't like that they're on social media, right? Are they on social media? Are they on Facebook? Are they flirting? Are they just like, I don't know. Are you checking their phone? Like, this was a thing with me and Jeff Mallery, right? All right, so look, and not even just Jeff Mallery, but like husband number 2. Like, husband number 1 didn't care that I was a webcam stripper. Just saying. He got off on that shit. Kid you fuck not. So he didn't care. He's like, they want you. They don't get you. I get you. Like, I was like, cool beans, right? All right. So then husband number 2 was like, yeah, you are an internet person. This was like 2002, guys. I was an internet personality in 2002. Kid you fuck not. It was a thing. That was fun. So husband number 2 was like, I don't like that, right? I don't like that you're on social media. You're like sexy and shit, and guys are like texting you and what the fuck. Actually did have a stalker. Guys. That was so crazy. His name was Roger, and he saw me on doing my webcam girl videos, right? Those webcam girl videos. I get tongue-tied thinking about it. They were sexy as freaking frack, man. So I can see why I had a stalker. Okay, so meanwhile, the second stalker was true deal. One had to threaten him with bodily fucking harm. I kid you fucking not, to get rid of Roger. Roger was like, I told my wife I'm leaving her for you. I was like, Roger, what? Oh, you're fucking kidding me? He was like, she tried to kill herself. I'm like, God damn it. Okay, so stalkers are real. Yeah, it's a thing. And so meanwhile, Lon was like, get off the internet. I hate it, right? I'm like, no, this is me. It's my diary. This is that was a bad thing. And so that came between our fucking marriage. Really, it totally did. I was like, I'm going to be me. Minnie got to be Minnie. I'm going to do what the fuck I want. I'm uncontrollable. He's like, yeah, she really is, right? So meanwhile, I'm just like, I don't know, because I'm thinking if I meet someone else, husband number 3, Jeff Mallery, he kind of didn't kind of care, but he kind of did. And he was also kind of looking online and stuff. I'm just like, yeah, I don't really want that, but I still want to be me. I'm looking for dates online. I'm kind of just there, being me. I can't help that guys flirt with me. What the fuck ever. Or I get stalkers, whatever. So the kind of thing that I was thinking about right now was, how you're dating, right? So you're in your 40s or 50s, right? You're not going to change who you are, right? So this is why I was thinking about this today, because I just talked to my dad, right? He called me, and he is so freaking funny. He's 72, right? I'm 52. He's 72. And he cracks me up. So this is what it gets back to. You can't change the person that you're with. You're just not going to change them. You're going to get in a relationship. I can change it. No, you're not. So my dad was like, hey, you were 9 months old. We were talking about, I was like, yeah, I hung up on a judge today. Judge pissed me off, right? I hung up on him. He was like, what? He was like, well, this is you. I'm not surprised. And so he started telling me this story about when I was 9 months old, right? I'm like, Daddy, why do you always have these stories? He's like, well, could you, yeah, you were 9, 10 months, 14 months old. He has all these crazy ass stories. I don't fucking know. I was Superwoman, this man. He was like, well, the girlfriend I had, Daddy, you got girlfriend, you were married to mommy, what the fuck? He's like, I introduced you to this woman, and you're 14 months old, and she tried to take your beach ball away, and you were like, get your own, and you put it to, and you could, start speaking sentences, really early, and she was so surprised. And that is so funny. But yeah, I'm was nicknamed Motormouth in the 1st grade. I told you my Native American name is Girl Who Talks Too Much. So the point being is, you can't change who the fuck you are, right? So when I get into these relationships, I'm like, look, I am hard to fucking handle. You're not going to pin me down. You're not going to be able to fucking control what I do. So that's kind of the mistakes that I keep making. When I'm in these relationships, I'm like, maybe I can tweak you. And then they try to tweak me. I'm like, fuck you. So I'm like, I think I'm going to give up on dating. I was on Tinder the other day, Tinder, all right, guys, listen to this. Is Tinder. Oh my MNG, what the hell is happening to Tinder? Okay, so I hadn't been on there for ages, right? And I swear, one of these Tinder responses is totally AI generated. I kid you frick not. I was like reading, I was like, is this like an AI generated response? And I was like, probably, right? But I had like 5 other ones going, can we have coffee tomorrow? I was like, hell no. So I'm like, I don't even know what I'm doing. So I'm like putting a pause on dating. Because I'm just like, I don't want to go out to coffee tomorrow. I don't even know what the fuck I want, actually. And I'm just going to meet someone who wants to change me. Like, they're going to like, you shouldn't be on social media. You shouldn't be doing a podcast. You shouldn't be so visible. Blah, blah, yeah. Because you're so, insecure. Guy number, husband number, fucking whatever. I'm not going to do that. So, meanwhile, that's what I was thinking about today. Like, in your dating processes and your relationships, just kind of think about that. My dad like kind of brought that home again. He does that. He'll be like, here's how you were, at 2 or 3 or 5. And I'm like, that's me. It's not going to change, guys. Same thing for you in a relationship. Like when I sang this song by Billy Joel, I Love You Just the Way You Are, as my wedding vow, as part of my wedding vows in my marriage to Jeff Mallery. And I meant that. It's like, I love you just the way you are. Like, he told me, like, when we first met, he was like, look, I'm fucked up. I'm fucked up. He literally did. He was like, I'm going to cheat on you. I might, have sex with your best friend. Like, legit. Like, and he did. So, meanwhile, you can't change people, but you'd be honest. And so, I'm like, I don't think I can date. Because the guy that I'm attracted to, here's the thing. Okay, so listen to this. Okay, here's my dilemma. Okay, here's the true dilemma. All right, here's honesty. All right, honest to God. Okay, so husband number 1 was best friend. That's the best thing, right? You marry your best friend. I advise that shit. Like, to this day, I was like, look, if I had stuck it out with husband number 1, that could have worked. But I was like fucking 21. So it was never going to work for me, not in that situation. But it could have worked, right? And then husband number 2, I was like, passion, lust, yay. It burned the fuck out. Like week fucking 8 or some shit. I was like bored. I was like, is there more? No? Okay. Oh no. I'm fucked. That's what happened. I kid you not. 4 children later, right? No, don't do that shit. There was nothing there. No friendship, no connection, nothing but babies. The babies that I wanted, okay? I wanted the babies, all right? And I got the babies. So, then husband number 3, it was like, okay, I'm divorced now. What the fuck do I do? I don't fucking know. Should I get married? I'm going to be 50. I think I should. I'm insecure as fuck. Maybe I should get married. I think I should. It was like the worst thing ever. And my son had passed away. So I was like, yeah, that was husband number 3. Like a disastery. Disastery. It's a word. Look, I made it up. It's a word. Okay, I just said it. All right. And so that's kind of where I'm right now. Right now I'm kind of 52, but I look, 22, 32. That's a gift. So I have my dating options like out there. I have like my Tinder email box is like blowing up to the point where I just logged off and I was like, I delete this now because I get too much goddamn attention. I really fucking do. But the guy I'm interested in is not interested in me. That's my problem. I am interested in a guy who's going to be like, she is like so uncontrollable and unmanageable. I can't deal with that shit in my life. That's my problem, you see. My dilemma, but I can't change, so I guess I'll be single forever. I'll be happy. It's okay. I have a cat. All right, I'm good. I'm okay with that. All right, and so anyway, this is Minny at 5. I'm gonna pop something into the toaster oven till I get my stove fixed, and have something yummy to eat later. I don't know if I can now. Oh fuck! I think I have court tomorrow. The judge I hung up on. God damn it, Minny. What the I'm always in fucking trouble. Alright, stay tuned, guys. I swear to God. Funny's probably gonna happen tomorrow. Alright, until next time, guys. See you soon. Oh my God. I was just thinking, because I shaved my head I cut it all off. Because it was falling out, right? Because I have alopecia and lupus causes that. It's a thing. And you just you at one point you're just like, and also I just have this terminal illness that like robs my body of vitamins and nutrients, you know, necessary to freaking grow hair. So I was like, I'm just done. So I was like, chop it all off, right? Which I did. I actually like it better now because now just my natural curls, right? I have my natural, thank God I have natural curly fucking hair. I don't know. I'm blessed. So meanwhile, I was like thinking about this argument I had with my friend Ronetta, right? Because I'm a black girl with blue eyes, right? Yeah, my brown eyes are blue. All right, so meanwhile, I talked about that in like the last podcast, yeah. So I get that a lot, right? Because there are not a lot of black women walking around with blue eyes, right? And so I had like this debate like going with my friend Ronetta, and I don't know how it came up, right? But at the end of the day, I was like, you jealous bitch. You just a fucking jealous bitch because you can't pull off being black with blue eyes. Sorry. Yeah. You don't like it? Deal with it. So it reminded me of like when I was growing up, right? And the 80s, right? 90s and everything. And black women started coming out with blonde hair. Like Jada Pinkett Smith pulls that shit the fuck off. Like one of those. And she shaved her hair, right? Because she has lupus. I think it's lupus. Is it lupus? It's something Jada Pinkett Smith has. You know, it ended up in a fucking slap at the Oscars. Like Will Smith, like bitch slapped somebody at the Oscars, right? For like making some fucking joke about that shit. About her being bald. Oh, yeah. I remember that shit. That's a thing, right? So meanwhile, back to this one. So back when I was growing up, right? And we were looking at these black women dyeing their hair blonde. And there was a whole debate in like the African American community, like especially where I was growing up. We were like, why are you trying to be white? Like, why would you do that? And I had that thing growing up where I had like my girlfriends being racist against me because they're like, you're trying to be white. I'm like, I just go to Catholic school with a bunch of white people. So, okay, what? And so I was like being discriminated against in my own community, right? Because I'm not black enough, apparently. I'm not. And then when I married husband number 2, he like perpetuated that whole thing. He's like, you don't seem like a black woman to me. You know, you're not really black. And he's a fucking racist, right? And yeah. And so I'm like, damn it. So we had this whole debate and she's like, well, I'm a natural beauty. And I'm like, I'm a natural beauty too. Just because I wear contact lenses doesn't make me not a natural beauty. I was like, look at my photos. I take them in black and white. I love photos of me. Like my best photos of myself I love, they're in black and white. So it doesn't fucking matter like what color my eye is. Like, doesn't matter, Ronetta. I'm so fucking beautiful. And so we had this debate. I think I was about to block her. She's about to block. It was the dumbest. Do you ever have like a conversation with a girlfriend or whoever? And it was like the dumbest fucking shit. Like before, like, yeah, a decade before. I kid you fuck not. Same fucking friend, Ronetta. Like, so we've been friends since 12. Like, we're 52. Like, 40 fucking years, right? Okay, we're currently not talking again. Another decade gone by. Damn it. All right, so, like, a decade went by because we had this dumbass conversation, right, about Michael Jackson. Kid you fuck not. Michael fucking Jackson, right? He died and I was like, whatever, drug addict. I said something like that, right? And she took that as being really insensitive to Michael Jackson because she's like a diehard fan. And we kind of, like, one thing led to the other. One sentence led to another. And then it was just like, you're gone. Boom, 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 blocked for 10 years or some fucking shit until my son died. And then I started talking to her. But now we're on the outs of goddamn on again. So, and it all came down to some stupid ass thing about fucking blue contacts. That first time, then Michael Jackson, and then this third time, I think it was like Jeff Mallery. Yeah, that's a story. So the dumbest things, but you know, identity. You know, I tried to explain to her, it's kind of like my identity, right? I said that in like my last podcast. I was talking about how people keep going, are those your eyes? They're blue. They're so blue. Like, yes. You're black. Yeah, I'm black. Okay, what the fuck? Shit. So it's like, don't like say that, you know, like when we were growing up and I was like, you know what? Now I get it. I'm like, that's your identity. Jada Pinkett, whatever you want to be, bald or whatever. I think it was a big thing too when Demi Moore like shaved her head for, what was it? G.I. Jane. That was the movie, man. All right. Demi Moore was in G.I. Jane and she's sexy as freaking frack with no hair, right? So that's what I'm doing, right? I'm going to pull like a G.I. Jane, Jada Pinkett Smith look, right? I'm rocking that shit. And no Ronetta. It doesn't matter whether my eyes are brown or blue. I'm still fucking attractive, just like you. All right? So anyway, those are my thoughts today at noon. I'm all dressed up today. I'm going to take a photo. I'm pretty today. Yeah. And my blue goddamn contacts. Yeah. Because my brown eyes are pretty and my blue ones are too. Damn it. It's me. All right. Those are my cutesy little thoughts today at noon. I hope you guys are doing something fun. Have something yummy for lunch. Yep. I had a craving. Oh, M&G, you know what I had a craving for? Listen to this little trick. Okay, look. So you know what? Like, I freaking love, okay, this is like a cheap thing when you are craving like a fish taco. I freaking love fish tacos, right? But every time I go out for fish tacos, they're crap. I fucking hate them. So I was like, I'm going to find a way to make them at home, right, myself, right? So I got like those beer batter Gordon's, ones in the freezer, right? The frozen freezer section, like the beer batter ones. And I like bake them till they're crispy frog. And then I put like cheese on it. I love cheese on mine. And then I'll do like a coleslaw, kind of like a shredded lettuce thingy. But these days you can't buy the damn lettuce. I swear everybody getting sick. Don't buy it. Don't do it. I didn't get lettuce. Okay, so and so I'll do like an Italian dressing on it. It's the oil and vinegar kind of thing with oregano and salt and pepper, right? Oh, it's so good. And I'm going to have like a fish taco like that I make right here, right now. I can't complain about it. I won't get sick about it. And that's the plan for lunch right now, man. All right. So I hope y'all doing the same. And this is Minny at noon. Until next time, guys. See you soon. Oh my God. I gotta talk about this because I just got off the phone with my dad today and he's like, oh, you talk so fast. You've always talked so fast. I'm like, yeah, I talk fast. We know this, right? He's like, yeah, always a thing. And I was like thinking about like, you know what? Daddy forgets. I have like a Bachelor's of Arts degree, minor in Spanish literature. And I started speaking Spanish, like self-taught, and then went to, learn it in the 6th grade at age 12. So I learned to speak Spanish. I was fluent in Spanish. I kind of forgot a lot of things, but it comes right back, like riding a bike. And they speak fast, right? The Spanish language, Spanish people, it's fast, right? So I like process language at a fast pace differently from English language, right? So I was thinking about that and I was like, oh my M and fucking G. Have I been getting misdiagnosed as bipolar? And like rapid speech, they'll say it, guys. They will misdiagnose you with bipolar disorder and say rapid speech. Are you talking too fast? And the doctor will be like, she's fucking bipolar. Kid you fuck not. So this is a thing. All right, so listen to this, right? So here I am talking to my daddy. He's like 72. He's like known me forever, right? And I think fucking man has forgotten that I'm bilingual. I think he fucking has fucking forgotten. And if I only get like 15 minutes here every now and then to talk to the goddamn old man. And I was like, I gotta remind Daddy. Daddy, do you remember I'm bilingual, right? Spanish people talk fast. So then it got me to thinking, right? In 1998, right? So here I am, 1998, right? I just had my second baby, right? 1999. And then they like go, rapid speech. She's talking very fast, and she's talking in circles and she's just going on. I'm like, this has been me. Like my dad will tell you, like, oh, she started like talking like that at 10 months old, right? Was she bipolar at fucking 10 months? I don't fucking know. Or 2 and 3. Like these are the stories. They're like this girl, she just like talks fast, right? And then here I am, little Annette, age, 12, and I start learning Spanish. I'm like, I love it, right? But the rate at which this Spanish language, it is fast, right? It's just like, R's, right? And, when you're processing that and learning it and listening, I think that that's how my speech just kind of just, I talk fast. So in English and in Spanish, I speak at a rapid pace, right? And so then when you're depressed in your 20s and you're going to the psychiatrist and you're not speaking like them, right? You're not like, okay, hi. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, so, yeah, I grew up and this happened. To me, that's fucking slow as fuck, like, right now. I'm I'm just like, no, I'm so fucking hyper wired. So do I have ADHD? They have often wondered, right? Yeah, I don't fucking know. But think about this for 1 minute, right? Are you bilingual? Hello? Are they saying rapid speech and calling you bipolar because you're speaking like me? Because I'm fucking sane, right? I'm not bipolar. I kid you fucking not. All right? I'm sane. This is just the way that I talk. And so when I go into like a space with a mental health professional, they're going to automatically go rapid pressure. They'll call it pressured speech. Look at your medical records, guys, right? Like, look at your freaking medical records and see what the fuck they're saying about you. Because they will. If you're a woman and you come in and you're just like going like this a mile a minute, and they'll be like, oh yeah, pressured speech, you know, intangible thought or some process, what the fuck ever. Read your medical records. I swear to God, they like mischaracterize the fuck out of you. And if you're bilingual and you have like a background like I do, where you have processed language and speech in a different way, right? It's different. I'm not processing it the same way that XYG blah whatever Joe might, because maybe he's not bilingual. Maybe he's speaking slower, okay? Maybe he's not Hispanic. I don't fucking know. But they're lumping that shit in there and calling you fucking bipolar. I'm just saying, it's a thing. Think about that shit. So that's my thought today, right? Because I like get passionate about people just like labeling everybody with bipolar. I swear. And they're like, it's mania. You're manic. You're manic because you're talking so fast we can't keep up with you. Okay, I'm sorry. Do you speak Spanish too? No. Okay, because we speak Spanish, all right? And we speak fast, all right? Spanish people do. English speaking people, whatever, don't lump everything into one because, hey, you don't know. So that's why I hate labels. I just like have a conversation with someone and go, like, what's your background? Like, what's your linguistic background? Background. I just said background. Oh my God, I swear. Okay, anyway, that's just my thoughts today. Recently, I went on a walk today, and I walked like 4 miles. So my brain is tired. And maybe I'll slow down and I won't talk so fast. I don't fucking know. But yeah, that was my thing today. I was like talking to my dad, and he was like, girl, you talk so fast. You know, you've always talked so fast. And it just got me to thinking. I was like, I think he's just, you know, forgot. I like that whole Spanish background where that is just like, yeah, there's a lot of fast speaking in that language. I miss speaking Spanish. I'm so happy that I'm actually in an area where I live now. I'm surrounded by people who speak Spanish. I'm like in love. I'm like, yes, I love it. I just gotta like brush up on it because I kind of forgot how to like conjugate all the verbs and everything. Like, fuck. Because it's been like, you know, like 2 decades or some shit. Like, when was I in Cabo San Lucas? Yeah, 2 fucking decades. So you gotta like pick it back up again. It's like, damn it. All right, it's been 2 decades since I was in Cabo San Lucas. Yeah, I get back there. Wait, yeah, it was like 2006. Yeah, a fucking long goddamn time. Like, goddamn, I'm old. All right, I'll get back there. I'm gonna go back there, you know, on the beach. And it was so fun there, except for the scorpions, guys. I hate the freaking scorpions. Like, when we moved to Cabo San Lucas, Mexico, right? It was a thing, right? I was like, yay. We're in Cabo San Lucas, la, brr. Go to the beach, like, every day. Like, literally, legit. Like, I live, like, right across the street from, like, I don't remember what it was called. It was some fancy resort where Jennifer Aniston... Wait, oh my God. Jesus, Jersey is coming out. Jennifer Aniston... I have a Jersey accent sometimes. Okay, Jennifer Aniston would come there. Okay, and I was like at the same resort. Like, kid you fuck not? That was so beautiful. Like, they'd like come out every day, and like I would like outside of my kitchen window see people parasailing over the seals in Cabo. Oh, love Cabo. Except I felt like I was on an island and I just couldn't live there. I was just like, Alon, we gotta like leave. I can't take it. I mean, it's like beautiful and shit. Like every day I like open like you know, look out my window and see people parasailing in the seals and everything. It's like, and I have my own pool, like a whole freaking large ass freaking pool. But I felt like I was just like on an island and I couldn't stand it. So I was like, no, I can't take it. I don't want to live in Cabo San Lucas, Mexico. Well, let's go. Anyway, but yeah, so I gotta practice my Spanish. But anyway, so that's my thoughts today. If you're getting, I don't know if y'all got psychiatric issues, you're going to mental health, and they're going pressured speech, rapid speaking, you're bipolar. Yeah, look at that shit, all right? It might not be true. It might be true. I don't fucking know. Just research it. I'm an advocate for you being an advocate for you and researching it. And just because someone just says this is what you're doing does not mean that's what your diagnosis is. Anyway, those are my just random thoughts today after talking to my dad. He gets me all riled up sometimes. And yeah, memories. Anyway, this is Minny at Random. And until next time, guys, see you soon. So you know what? Oprah has a podcast, and I was just watching it, and OMG, they had like a topic that I am literally enthralled with because, I've like had near-death experiences, like multiple ones. And I totally like studied this when I was in college. I was fascinated by that thing. Like, oh my gosh, you like had a near-death experience. You were in heaven. Like, what happened, right? What happened? Tell me. So meanwhile, I'm like watching Oprah's podcast, and I've got to get this book. It's called Death is But a Dream, right? By Dr. Christopher Kerr, Kerr, right? And he's a hospice doctor, and he's written a book about his experience with like, I think over 1,000 patients nearing death who have all of these experiences, like right before they die. They have these end of life dreams, they call it. It's a thing. All right. Google that, end of life dreams. Right. And so he originally started this project to, interview all of these patients, who had these experiences with their deceased loved ones. Right. And so he did it because he was like, there's a lot of skepticism with doctors who do not understand, the dying process, which is so true. And so it's just intriguing. So pick that up. It's called Death is But a Dream, and it's freaking true. So listen to this story. Cool story. It's true. I tell you, kid you not. So everything you read about that in that book, it's true. Been there. Hey, my son, on the day of his funeral, visited me. Yeah. And so when I was watching the podcast, they said a lot of the patients don't want you to call it a dream, right? Oprah was like, yeah, because it's a visitation. It's real. It's so real. Like when my son, it was like the morning of his funeral, I was asleep. Like, first of all, back up. So, like, a lot of the things that he gained, like the information from this over 1,000 people that he interviewed and took videos of their experiences and everything, the main message, which I agree with, which is consistent, is kind of like love in this lifetime, forgiveness, family, and it's just that's the overall message, right? So like when you die, the overall consensus is you're greeted by deceased loved ones, that your parents or the interesting thing, they were like, okay, so like if you're a spouse and you have 3 spouses, right? He was like, there was this one hospice patient who, they came back and they were like, oh, I was greeted by husband number 2 because that's the one that loved me the most. So the meaning I got from that podcast was when you pass over, like the kind of summary of what they got out of it was that you're greeted by the people who loved you the most or who were the most influential in your life, shaping you as the person that you are. So I was thinking about my ex-husband Juan, and I was like, yeah, I think he's only going to be greeted by his parents and his grandparents, right? Good for him. But yay. So you have I was like, oh, for me, it'd be my grandma, right? My grandma, my mom would be there too, right? My son, who, on the morning of his funeral, we had a strained relationship, right? And that's why this resonated with me, guys. It was kind of when you pass over, you kind of want to, you have all these things settled, right? Because it's just, I don't know, maybe that's the spirits that get stuck and they become ghosts, right? That movie Ghost. Remember that movie Ghost? Did you guys watch that movie? I'm so obsessed with that damn movie Ghost, man. Whoopi Goldberg, Demi Moore, Patrick Swayze. Okay, Ghost, man. I'm gonna go watch that again, man. That was freaking that classic, god dang it. I was obsessed with that shit. I was like, he's a ghost. He's right there, Demi. He's right there. Oh, you can't see him. That's why we need Whoopi Goldberg. Anyway, so listen. Okay, so the morning, so here's what happened. I'm on Dr. Phil's show, and the only communication I'd have with my son was on the Dr. Phil show, because it was strained. Long story, you gotta follow me on whatever's to see what happened on Dr. Phil's show between me and my son, right? And so it was strained. We didn't talk for years after he shot himself at 17. No freaking talking, and then he died at 25, right? So count the years, man. 17 to fucking 25, no fucking talking except on Dr. fucking Phil. So I'd get on Dr. Phil just to talk to my son, by the way. That's why I kept a relationship with Stephanie Granada. Yeah, that was why. Damn it. So whatever. I got to see him and hug him and shit on national television. And then he died of fentanyl overdose. And then, he did come to me as a spirit on the morning of his funeral to say goodbye. And that was another thing in the Oprah podcast, right? They're like, people are afraid, guys, to tell other people this shit. And Oprah was like, yeah, they're going to think you're crazy. And I'm like, yeah, if I tell people this shit, they're like, Minny, we already know you're crazy, but you're crazier. So they're like, let's reduce the stigma. Because working in hospice, right? It's a thing. People working in hospice will know this shit. They're like, yeah, no, Minnie's not crazy. This goes, people pass over, they see this shit. So I'm asleep the morning of my son's funeral. And I feel this surge of energy, wake me out of a dead sleep. I was freaking asleep. I was not having an end of life dream or a freaking dream, because I'm used to having goddamn prophetic dreams. But it woke me up. And I felt like this huge rush of energy flowing through my body, up through my head. And it was beautiful. It was a beautiful feeling. I felt that it was him. And it was like, I forgive you, Mom. I love you. Goodbye. It was like that. It was just like, oh my fucking God. We had not talked. Not a word. Not a word. Only on Dr. fucking Phil show. Kid you fuck not. And then the morning of his funeral, right? He knew I was fucking a wreck. I was a wreck fucking mess when I got the phone call that he was dead. I was a wreck mess. I called 911 on my fucking self. Yes, I fucking did. I called 911. I said, come get me. I will not survive this. Come and get me right now. I called 911. Yeah, I did. So meanwhile, it's probably why Spirit was like, Mom's not going to make it. let me just come visit her shit. So I popped up in bed, right? And I was like, whoa. How is Andrew? My fucking God. I was like, thank you. I was Andrew. I told everybody. I was like, Andrew visited me. And they're like, Mom, you're crazy. I'm like, I was asleep. He woke me up, damn you. And then I was like, oh fuck, it's his funeral in Las Vegas, Nevada that I wasn't going to go to. But yeah, that's what happened. So it's real. Pick up the book. Death is but a dream. I don't know. Do you have any loved ones that are dying of cancer? Are you old or some shit and afraid of dying? Don't be afraid. I'm telling you. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful experience, and I am going to pick up this book, the audio version. I'm sure there's an audio version. I need to listen. I can't fucking read shit. I'm the girl who's a writer who never loved to read. I know, really. Everybody was like, huh? We don't get this. Back in the freaking 80s, they were like, I'm like, yeah, I'm a writer. I don't like to read. I hate reading. I freaking hate it, but I'm a writer. I'm a prolific writer, and I never fucking read. Never did. I hated that shit. But I had to read in law school. That was a thing. God damn it. Anyway, I digress. Anyway, this is Minny at 5. I was not getting sleep again. I don't fucking know. I was scrolling podcasts and shit and found Oprah's. And I was like, what the fuck? I love reading about, life after death and all that shit. And I was like, what the fuck, Oprah? You look great. What the hell? I missed this shit. All right. So anyway, you all check out my podcast too. I'm on Spotify now. All right, anyway, this is Minny at 5. Until next time, guys. See you soon. So you know what? I just posted my earlier podcast because I was watching Oprah's podcast about this cool book about life after death, right? And I was thinking about, my baby Finn. He's 11 now though, but I call him the IUD baby because literally I had an IUD in. It's supposed to be 95% freaking, supposed to stay in your goddamn uterus, right? It's supposed to freaking stay there. Yeah, no, not in Minnie's world. Fucking thing fell fuck out. And then a week later, I was pregnant with Finn. But listen to the backstory, right? It's got on the lines of, hold on, there's life after death, angels and stuff, right? That's the whole thing I've been talking about lately. I think that's because my son's around. I swear he is my angel in heaven. He is around. But listen to the story. I don't think I ever told y'all this story. So, my son, unfortunately, was very depressed, suffered from depression. We had a really horrible, dynamic going on in our home life, domestic violence, and I was, crazy, so I wasn't dealing with that shit very well. I was mentally unstable. I had a lot of freaking problems going on, so I wasn't the best freaking mom, right? And my husband was not the best dad. So then we have my son, Andrew, who was suffering and then shot himself in the chest. Point blank range, damn it, right? Fuck, I was so grateful he survived, but as he was being taken by, in the ambulance, and I was there and everything, I came home from the hospital, ER, for a moment to take care of my 2-year-old, who, I had a 2-year-old at the time, and I had, a 3-year-old, and, 4-year-old. Oh my gosh, yes. That was what I was dealing with, right? So I had 3 little babies, right? And my 17-year-old shoots himself in the chest, okay? And I'm praying. I am praying like the Dickens. I'm praying after I threw up everywhere and, was like, where's the doctor? And cursed everybody out. And I had a panic attack and everything. I'm like in prayer here. I'm like, I'm going to die, Jesus. Like, if you take my son right now, I'm going to hate you for forever. I'm going to hate you. Like, we had this conversation when I had a stillborn baby at 18 weeks. I had to deliver the baby. It's not a miscarriage, by the way. At 18 weeks, it's a goddamn on baby. You go through labor. Okay, I went through labor to deliver a dead baby. That was heartbreaking. And I told God to go fuck himself. I kid you not. I'm sorry for the language, but I was that goddamn mad at God to take a baby like that. I was like, what the fuck, God? Like, here I am, like a faithful here. And so I came back to God after that, after we had this whole, I was like, I'm so mad at you. Why? And so that's the same thing that happened when my son shot himself. I was like, okay, we're done. Like, we're done, Jesus. I'm done with you. I'm done. And I'm on my knees, praying because my son was in surgery. He had like broken ribs. I was actually there where they like, you see out in the movies where they like jab the thing in the person's, cause they have collapsed lungs. My son had collapsed lungs. I was freaking there. I had to jab the thing in and then he gasps for air and there's blood coming out. That's a real thing, dudes. Okay, I was there. We don't watch it on TV, but imagine watching it with your son. Okay? So that's what I'm going through. So I'm going through this shit, right? And I'm praying, please, please, God, save my son's life. I will do anything, right? That's what you do. You're like, I will fucking do anything. You just don't do this to me again, right? And I had like this vision that I was giving birth to a baby. I had like this vision of, I'm like praying here. I'm like, I see a vision. I'm like, what are you doing? I like see that I'm giving birth. I actually saw like the end of my life too, actually. But I saw like this vision of this baby and I'm like, why am I getting a vision of a baby when I'm losing a son? He's in surgery right now. I have 3 babies at home, right? No, that can't be happening. That's not going to happen, right? And I opened my eyes, was crying tears because it was a joyous feeling. It was a comforting feeling of, you have this is your future. It was like Jesus had shown me my future and it was happy. Even my death was happy. I was surrounded by people who loved me and it was all beautiful. It was like, what? It was like a gift. So it was like beautiful. And I did not think much of it because I was like, if this is going to come true, it can't. So like my son did survive that, I was like, thank you, Jesus. And then right afterwards, because I had the 3 babies already and I was done. I was like, okay, I have 5. I'm done. I have 5 children. I'm good, right? I got an IUD. I was like, yeah, IUD for me. I looked it up. I was like, statistics are good, right? I looked up Mirena and Paragard and I was like, yay. They stay right there in that uterus because I'm fertile myrtle. My husband used to call me fertile myrtle. I was like, look at her. She get pregnant. I'm like, yep. That was me. And so I was just like, Yeah, IUD. Okay, so here's the funny thing. Here was what happened. Here's what God did again to me, right? I kid you fuck not. This is God. I kid you not. This is so, how else do you explain this shit, right? Okay, so I go on Dr. Phil, right? They take my children away because of the whole Dr. Phil scandal thing that happened in the town. They're like, yeah, you're the Dr. Phil family. You suck. You're a bad mom. You should not have children. I'm like, what the fuck? Oh my God, that's not true. And so, like, literally, like, I went on the Dr. Phil show the second time, but then the third time I discovered I was pregnant, my IUD fell out of my goddamn uterus. It was like a lawsuit or some shit. Yeah, what the fuck happened? Oh, they were like trying to bill me or some shit for the IUD. And I was like, oh, fucking countersue you for a faulty IUD. Oh my God, it's so many. That's like so fucking many. Like, who the fuck gets into a fucking small claims court case about an IUD? Yay, me. Anyway, yeah, they dismissed it or some shit. I remember. I remember they dismissed it because I was like, don't sue me for paying for this shit that fell out of my uterus. Your doctor like incompetently placed it in there. That's negligence, but I'm happy I got the baby, so I don't want to sue you for like wrongful pregnancy. Yay, me. And so that's why he's the IUD baby. Anyway, there you go. There's my supernatural fun mini fact for today. Right? I mean, who else gets this kind of shit? This life is mine. I don't know, guys. But anyway, this is Minny at 8. I've been up for hours, man. I think I need a nap. I don't know. Anyway, until next time, guys. See you soon. Oh my God. Listen to this story. And you are not going to believe it, but it's funny as fucking hell. Okay, so listen to this. Okay, so last night, and listen, have you ever had a warning dream? You know, like you think it's a fucking nightmare, right? And you wake up the next morning, you're like, that dream, it was so specific, like so clear, like I don't know, man. And you wake up and you tell somebody, you're like, hey, I had this dream last night. I was like really specific, man. All right, so look, so when I have my prophetic dreams of shits, I know it's gonna come true, and I have to like solve this shit within 1 to 3 days. Like, I kid you fuck not, it is historically proven. Talk to my family members, yes, talk to Noah, who's a part of this story. Listen to this, right? So I have this dream last night, and I'm like, shit, okay, in the dream, right? I'm always fucking lost and somewhere fucked up, right? Where I'm trying to figure out where the fuck I am. I don't fucking know, but maybe it's because I get lost in real life, Minnie. Maybe that is. Look, I don't know. Listen, so in the dream, I like apparently left my apartment or what the fuck ever I was. I wasn't here. It was somewhere where I lived, right? I come back and I'm like, wait, my wallet. Where's my license? And I was like, oh shit, you left, Minnie, you left your whole purse. You left your purse and somebody came in and took your ID and your ID's gone. You're fucked, right? Your driver's license, that's like the most important thing. Fuck, you weren't supposed to lose that, Minnie. Anything fuck else, like the keys to the RV, I locked them in the RV. I climbed through the fucking window. And like, seriously, I locked my keys in the car multiple times. Let Chloe in the car. One time in the rain with the keys in the fucking car with the cat. Okay, kid you not. This has been my history, right? So like last night when I had the goddamn dream about my driver's license, I was like, oh fuck. Okay, so I wake up and I'm like, okay, what the fuck, Jesus? You're trying to warn me. I know this is a goddamn warning dream, right? It's a warning dream. So I'm like, it's warning me. Okay, make sure you have like all your shit, Minnie. Make sure you got your license, right? Because in the dream, I was like, oh shit, maybe it's at the liquor store, what the fuck ever. I got wine, right, yesterday. Maybe in the dream, right? And in the dream, I'm like, shit, did I leave it at the liquor store? Maybe my ID's there. Oh, fuck, I get carded, fuck. Oh, kid, you know, all the time. Like, legit. Today, the liquor store lady, she was like, 1974? What? I would never get, I get this, I kid you fuck not. Every time I try to buy alcohol, I kid you fuck not, they look at the date and they cannot fucking believe it. I'm like, yeah, 1974. It's me. Okay, it's not a fake ID. It's me. Okay, so listen. So in the dream, I'm like, okay, so I wake up, I have to go to court this morning. I went to court on some like asshole thing, you know, against some fucking asshole who sued me, which thank you, Jesus. The judge read my trial memorandum and kicked his case out of court. And so meanwhile, all right, I come home, right? I'm like, okay, you didn't lose your license, Minnie. Good. The dream's not going to come true. But no, it can use it 3 days, right? So I call my son Noah. Oh, and he called me, right? Yeah, Noah had some kind of freaking emergency. And I'm like, Noah, I had this warning dream. And you know, the last time I had one, it was warning you against taking a box cutter to school, which you did not. And I saved you because then they searched your backpack and you were in trouble. But you'd have been in much trouble if you hadn't listened to my dream. So Noah was like, oh, yeah, Mom, yeah. So I was like, Noah, had this dream. Keep your keys, keep your wallet with you. The dream is a warning dream. He's like, Mom, I'm fine. I know where my keys are. I know where my license. I keep it in. I'm like, okay, I don't know. Maybe it's about me. Because sometimes, I don't know if you listened to my last podcast about Sylvia Brown, right? She's a famous psychic and she got the reading wrong. And she got a lot of bad press, a lot of bad back push about her because it was about a missing girl, right? And she got the dream wrong, and you can get the dream wrong, right? So meanwhile, I'm going about my day, right? I'm on a walk, right? And I'm like, la la la. Okay, I got my license. Okay, I'm on a walk. I already went to court. I did not lose anything. It's good. You good girl. I'm like walking, right? And I'm in a city where there's like a lot of homeless people. I mean, like they kind of come up to you and they're like, hey, can you have $1? Do you have this? Do you have that? I'm like, fuck no. Okay, so I'm on a walk, right? And I see this homeless guy who apparently he looks homeless. I don't know. Maybe I'm stereotyping. Maybe he's not homeless. Okay, so he's on a bike. He looks kind of scruffy. And he's like waving at me, right? And I'm like, what the hell? Is this another, do you have $1? I'm like broke right now, dude. I'm like, no, I go like a couple bucks here for me. Not for you today, maybe tomorrow, right? But so I'm walking by and I like a smile at him and I'm like, hi, yeah, hi. I wave and I go, no. I shake my head like left to right, thinking he'll get the picture that I don't have $1 today for him. I keep on walking, right? I keep walking. I swear, I kid you fuck not. Like 2 minutes I walk and I get there and I see him like pull up on his bike, like right in front of me. And I'm like, what the fuck? The homeless dude is like, I know, again, I'm stereotyping. He can be not homeless, but what the fuck ever. I was like, okay, he's like, he followed me and he parks his bike, like he's driving right in front of me and parks it. And he's like waving something in his hand. He's like waving car keys with a piece of yarn attached to it, right? I'm like, what the fuck? Those are my car keys. And I attached a piece of yarn with it because I've lost them before. And it's so that I notice them in my purse. And I'm like, dude, how do you have my car keys? What the fuck? How do you have my car keys? He's like, look, you dropped them, way back there. And I was trying to tell you, but you kept walking. I was like, Jesus, are you fucking kidding me? I was like, thank you so freaking much. So I'm like, oh my God, that was a legitimate warning dream. But like I told you, like in my last podcast, sometimes you can change the future, sometimes you can't. So I did like every freaking thing I was supposed to do. I had the damn warning dream. I woke up, I'm like, fuck, that's a warning dream. Okay, fuck, you got your license? No, you're fuck. So the license was in the dream, right? Not my keys. So here's the thing. So like when Sylvia Brown had that big scandal where she got it wrong about the girl being trapped in a basement somewhere and locked up or underwater, which was the scandal somehow. She got it wrong. It was like, oh, she's alive or she's dead. I can't remember which one. But there's a big scandal about Sylvia Brown. It's a Montel Williams show. Love that. I still love Montel Williams. But she got it mixed up. So just like in the dream, my dream was the license is gone. I was like, oh my God, my world is fucked. Okay, so in reality, when the dream came true, it was actually the only copy of the car key that I had. My only freaking copy of my fucking car key because I got to get a replacement, right? And I had all this shit like locked in the car because I just went to court. So I had like all my fucking computers, my laptop, my iPad, like everything, right? Because I had just come from court, like locked everything up. So I'm still going to walk, right? I'm still going to fucking walk. So I didn't like unload anything, right? So if I had just like left my car key like some random place, I wouldn't have fucking known because I only walk like 1.5 miles or some shit. I wouldn't have known because I was on a walk. Didn't need my car keys. So I would have gone all the way back home from the walk if he had not stopped me and come home and not even noticed till maybe the next day because I have no intention of fucking driving. So what a good Samaritan, right? That's the beauty of this day. So I have this morning dream, this good Samaritan that I just happened to go like, what, you homeless person, I don't have $1. Tracks me the fuck down and did a beautiful thing. Because I'd have been fucked. I mean, I'd been seriously fucked. I like would have hugged him if it would not have been inappropriate. We would have like given him money if I like had any. But that's how grateful I was. And then at the end of the day, I was like, Jesus, why didn't you just freaking tell me in the dream that it was going to be my car keys? What the fuck? Why'd you go into the license? I'm like, okay, so that's how you do it. It's like there's something important going to happen, you're going to lose. Okay? That's how I figured it out. And that's what Sylvia Brown was probably trying to explain about the whole warning dream. So have you guys ever had any warning dreams? Think about it. Huh? That you're like confused. You're like, I had this scary dream, right? Because mine was really freaking specific. I was like calling up, like in my dream. I can read in my dream. It's kind of rare, I guess. I can read. I can do numbers. I can call. I was calling on my phone in my dream. And I was like, oh, that's the recently died. I mean, mine are so lucid. That's how I was like, this is a warning dream. So those are my thoughts today. Start paying attention to your dreams, guys. You never know. I think we all have this gift. We just kind of we don't know it. Maybe you don't know you have a gift too. Anyway, this is Minny at Random today. And until next time, guys. See you soon. So you know what? Do you guys remember watching Back to the Future with Michael J. Keaton? Wait, no, that's a different Michael. Michael J. Fox, right? And it was about like traveling, and was he traveling back to the future or some shits and whatever? And I love the when Peggy Sue got married, that one, where it's like about what if you could like travel in time and like change the past, right? And then it changes the future, right? If you go back in the past, right? Then you could like know all the things you know now and like totally like concoct like a whole different like future. Shit's real. Kids, you fuck not. So I've been having like dreams, prophetic dreams since I was like a kid. I legitimately, true fucking story, asked this man. He is serving life in prison right now. And right before he started to commit the crimes again, after he had already served like 3 decades in prison, I was like, Daddy, I had a dream that you're going to get taken down by the marshals and you're going to go to jail. Okay, so he's out on parole after serving like 30 fucking years, right? After doing this shit. And he's like, yeah, no, girl. I'm like, Daddy, you know that I have this gift. He's like, yeah, I know you have a gift. I'm like, okay, so Daddy, okay, here's what happened in the dream, right? I got down to the specifics. I'm like, somebody got hit in the nose. Right? And, yeah, you went down. You're going to go to jail. Are you doing anything illegal, Daddy? Are you? He promised me up and fucking down he wasn't doing that bad. No. What the fuck ever happened? The next freaking couple weeks, I see him on the news. On the fucking news. I just come back from getting a tattoo, and I was, like, sitting down, like, with a drink and shit. I turned the news on, and my dad's face on the news. Hello? Do you know anybody who has that experience? Me? I like watching the news on the TV. I call my aunt and I'm like, hi, I see Dad. Daddy's on the news. What the fuck? I told him I had a dream, and like to this day, I kid you not, he's like, I wish I had listened to you, baby girl. I wish I had listened to you. I'm like, yep, I'm sorry, can't help it. Whatever. Okay, so meanwhile, I like was thinking about that earlier podcast that I did about the homeless guy with my car keys. Like he found them and like, gave them back to me. And I was like, shit, what if you're not meant to change the future? So I was sent this dream that I was going to lose my driver's license, right? And I woke up thinking, what the fuck? But in reality, it was like, you're going to lose your driver's license in connection with a place because you're going to a liquor store. So here's the clue, and you're going to lose something important. So that's kind of what the summary of the dream was, which actually didn't happen. And I was like, Jesus, if I'm not meant, I was careful, but the future still happened. I didn't change anything because I had the warning and I had been able to see the future. So I was able to see the future. I woke up this morning. I saw that I was going to lose something really fucking important. I kept my license with me. I was vigilant. I thought I kept my keys with me. I was vigilant. I still fucking lost my keys on walking to the store, right? And some homeless guy picked them up and returned them to me. So it still happened. So it's an intriguing thing, right? Because you're like, wait, like the Back to the Future things, you're like the movies, and when Peggy Sue got married, that whole thing, I think he was trying to change it because it was a love story that went awry and he wanted to like make everything better and change it. I don't remember it so old, but I was intrigued by that shit. So I'm like, okay, so then I'm like, why does, spirit or however do you define this crap? How do you define this gift, right? So anyway, I went to a Christian counselor one time, right? Here's another thing, a spiritual aspect of it, because you gotta go, it's so transcendental. Like, where do you go? Like, is it mystical? Is it a cult? Is it Jesus? What the fuck is this gift, right? Where I can have a dream, right? And within 1 to 3 days, it's gonna come fucking true. Drove me fucking crazy for years. So I went to a Christian counselor once, right? Okay, Christian, here we go, Christianity. And the way they explain it is spiritual discernment. Now look that up. If you're like I'm in the middle, like I was growing up, I was like, what the fuck, Jesus? A cult? Christian? What the fuck? You conflict. All right. So spiritual discernment, right, is a gift that you can have to discern the spirits. Evil? Are you evil? Are you negative? Like, I don't know. If you didn't follow my last podcast about my spiritual advisor, she had a genie as her spiritual. I was like, no. And her spiritual advisor made me ill, like legit ill. And so that's kind of like the gift of spiritual discernment in the Bible. So it's a thing. So I don't know, you atheists or agnostics, whatever, it's a thing. Spirits are around us. They do exist. They influence us. I think that's why the Bible instructs about it. Be careful, discern the spirits. But so, yeah, that was my thing. I was like, I got this warning, right? I was thinking about Back to the Future and how cool that was. And then there was this other thing I was, MNG, guess what, guys? It's called Stranger Things, right? Stranger Things. My girlfriend Renetta told me about it. It's on Netflix. All right, it's on Netflix. I love it. It's another future time travel thingy. Stranger Things, okay? And actually, a thing happened to me, like just like in that freaking movie. And guys, you know what? Do you remember when Steven Spielberg came out with E.T.? Do you remember Drew Barrymore? And I was like, you know what? Him and Stephen King. I'm like, these are guys that have like kind of been to the other side. That's how they write this. How do you think their imaginations come up with this brilliant, crafty stuff about aliens and time travel, right? Because they could have fucking been there, like me. Like, that's right, really. I could write a fucking movie tomorrow. It's a true thing. So yeah, and you have a dream that you think might just be a dream. It might not be just a dream, right? And if you think you might can change it, you might just be able to. It's a thing. It's intriguing. Look into it, it's interesting. I'm just one of those people, as opposed to just scrolling the news and random. I don't have TikTok, so I'm not one of those people. I am like really philosophical. Is that a philosophical? The fuck ever. You know what I mean? I like really love deep, to this research things. I love like the meaning of life. It used to be when I was like, what's the meaning of life? Shit like that. I'm just kind of a, deep person like that. Yeah. Anyway, so those are my thoughts today. What the hell time is it? I think it's Minny at 3 right now. Okay, so look. When the whole homeless guy thing like completely like derailed my day. I mean, first of all, I knew something fucked up was gonna happen, so I was anxious the whole goddamn day from the moment I woke up. I was like, there's something fucked up gonna happen today. So okay, let's go with it. And so I was like so fucking stressed. I like literally was like, yeah, I need a drink. And so that's what the dream was about. It was like, Minnie, you're going to need a drink. You're going to license is involved. Because actually the lady did make a big deal at the liquor store. She was like, all right, 1974. So I'm like, okay, this was what the dream at. God damn it. But couldn't change it. No, I still fucking lost my keys. Could not change it. No matter what the dream told me. Couldn't change it. Still ended up losing my keys. But, the bright side was they were returned to me. So, yay. But anyway, I don't know. It's something to think about today. And until next time, guys. See you soon. So, you know what? I, explored the whole BDSM thing. And that was kind of fun. Alright, so listen to this. Alright, so I meet Jeff Mallery, right? And he's like totally intrigued and interested in the whole BDSM thing, right? I mean, like, all MNG. I like got like experience with watching people who love to be. I went to like this sex party. Okay, wait, hold on. Let me back it up from the sex parties. The sex parties are fucking fun. All right, so listen to this. Okay, so when I met Jeff Mallery, alright, I was like vanilla. That's what they call it, right? In the whole thing. You're vanilla. Okay, if you have not gone into the BDSM thing, you're vanilla, right? So I'm like, yeah, what the fuck? And he's like, yeah, like that. Beat women up, hit him, it gets me off, blah, blah, yeah. He's a sadist. A fucking true sadist, man. I swear, kid you fuck not. So I'm like going into this world, and I'm like, okay, why do the women want to be beat up? I don't understand. And then I go, wait. They want to be tied up too. Like they can't get out. They can't. I'm like, look, dude, I have PTSD because my husband like tied me up and hog tied me and put a sock in my mouth in a dark room for hours. Like fuck no, I do not want to be tied up because I have PTSD related to that shit. Like no, it's not sexy to me. It's like traumatic. So, but there's a whole group of women who love that shit. They like tie me up with ropes. It's a fucking art and shit, right? And the way they tie the ropes and shit. I'm like, oh my fucking God, right? It's a thing. I get invited to these roping sex parties and shit. All right. So I'm like, what? And so Jeff, Mallery, and I like went to a couple of sex clubs, right? It's a whole thing. And then I like signed up for this one BDSM dating site. Guys, you know, there's a freaking dating site for y'all. Y'all like the kinky stuff, BDSM stuff. There's a freaking dating site for it, right? I was like insanely popular. I had to delete my profile. I just got on there just to kind of check it out and be like, hey. And then they were like, oh my MNG, people with the weirdest, strangest interests. Yeah, there's a site for you. Yeah, there's an app for that. Anyway, so when I'm going back into the dating world right now at 50 fucking 2, right? I'm like, okay, Jeff Mallery like totally like got me opened my eyes because I did not know this world. I did not get it. I was like, oh, okay. I like being a little. I like being a submissive. So what I learned in that world, right, was like, okay, what's a little? What's a little? And they're like, oh. And then when we went to this one meetup group with a bunch of other people who were into polyamory, so you can fall on just the polyamory thing, right? Because he was in that too. It was like, let's just have another person in our, in our life, in our marriage and shit. I'm like, I don't know about that, Jack. But so. Listen, it's interesting. So one sex party I went to, and I identified as a little. And I had to go, there's like a whole, like tons of research on this on the internet. Just look it up, like a little submissive versus blah, blah, blah. And I watched the 50 Shades of Grey because Jeff Mallery was like, watch this movie. This is what I like. This is what I want. I'm like, oh my God, I don't know if I can do that. And so I went to this one sex party. And I was introducing myself to this one couple, right? Because a lot of couples, they want a little. They want, somebody like, they would look at me and go, hey, can you be our little? Can you be our third person here in the, relationship, right? I thought about this. And I did. I was like, okay, I don't know. Because I was going through this fucking phase where I was like, divorced and single, right? And I was like exploring, me. What are my thoughts? What are my morals? Am I still going to stick to the same goddamn morals that I grew up with, which says that this shit is like, no, in the Bible, no. Minny, no. Right? But yeah, I delved in it a little bit. So, the interpretations of what a little is was different because I met this one couple and she was like, well, if you're a little, you shouldn't be doing that and you shouldn't be doing this. I was like, this little is going to be defined by how I define little. That was so funny. But yeah, it's a whole fucking world, guys. It's a whole different goddamn world. So I'm like, okay, people getting bored in their marriage, right? Y'all bored. That's freaking frack, right? Have you been married for like 20 freaking plus years, right? I don't know, 25 years or some shit. And you're like, okay, we're bored. The sex is like, boring as fucking fuck, right? And so you're like, hey, can we like invite a third person in? Oh, she's hot. How about that? So that's kind of like, the thing Jeff Mallery was into. And so we kind of like, I thought about that for a little bit and I was like, why am I not enough? Why am I not enough for this man? And it's because it's a fucking addiction, man. I swear to God, kid you not. He's like, well, I like variety. And I'm just like, you not get out of this in your 20s. You're like fucking 50. Hello. Okay, so no. So some men just don't fucking get out of that shit. They're just like, no, I just want to like a revolving door of women. I'm like, look, dude, I'm a fucking revolving door of women and of myself. Get you fuck now. Like one day I'm blonde, one day I'm this, one day I got this color eyes. I'm like, I'm made that day. I'll be a cheerleader tomorrow. It's like, look, dude. But no. So sometimes I guess your sexual appetite just requires your dick to be in different women. I don't fucking know. But that was my thing with Jeff Mallery. I was like, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you, guy? But guess what, though? Okay, so it was fun. I gotta admit that shit, man. All right, so it was fun. I frankly would probably do it again with like a lot of different rules and shits. I mean, I'm not going to be like, hey, let's just invite this girl over and whatever. But I'm totally like open-minded to that crap. I really freaking am. And so I'm not saying I gotta like, completely like go all the way and like be a little and like be like, hey, let's just have sex with her. No. But I do find something intriguing about the dynamic, right? I do. So it's kind of like there was like a whole nother side I didn't see, right? When I start looking into it. sometimes there was a couple, right? And they had been married for a long time and they're secure in their marriage. They're freaking secure. They're happy. But they invite a third woman in. Yeah, they invite a third woman in. I mean, a third. Okay, a second woman in because it's the wife and a second woman, a third person, blah, blah, blah. Okay. And that third person is their companion. And she'll go on vacations, or she'll, satisfy their needs, whatever. And it becomes like a kind of a relationship between the three of them. I guess that's polyamory or whatever. But my neighbor, O-M and frickin' G. My neighbor, sometimes that polyamory stuff does not work out right. Oh, no, no, no. And then you let that person in and then they go off with that person. Actually, that's what happened with Jeff Mallery. Now that I think about it, apparently, they entered another woman into their relationship. And guess what happened? Tracy divorced his ass and went on with the person that they had in their bed. Yep. So, that's the risk. And so when I met Jeff Mallery and he had told me this whole story, I'm thinking, really? You want to do it again? You kind of like try to do the polyamory thing, with Tracy. Look how that happened. She divorced you and, cheated on you with some man. Actually, it was a man. Oh, and fucking G. That's right. They invited another man in their bed. Tracy Carter. Jeff Mallery, Tracy Carter. Tracy Carter Hall. Or is it Tracy Hall Carter? I don't fucking know. What the fuck ever. She's on there. So what the fuck ever. So they invited another man into their bed, right? Thinking it would spice things up. Oh yeah, let's spice it up. And guess what happened? Jeff Mallery discovered Tracy was cheating on him behind his back with the man that he had voluntarily invited into their bedroom. They went all downhill from there. And then apparently then Tracy decided she was gay. And what is that a bad thing to say these days? Gay. Tracy decided she preferred women. Okay. I don't know. And then the same woman Jeff wanted to have sex with, right? And Tracy was like, yeah, no. And so that's how that relationship blew up. But then she decided to be a jealous bitch. That's a whole nother story with our relationship. So what the fuck ever. But meanwhile, back to polyamory. I suggest that, proceed cautiously. What the fuck? What time? It's 5. Okay. It's like my words are messed up. I'm going to sleep again. I somehow woke up at 3 again. And I was like, yeah, of course it's 3. We're going up at 3. It's the witch's hour. Devil's hour, what the fuck ever they call it. Why is it always 3 and me awake, you see? So yeah, so that's another thing. Polyamory. I don't think I'm gonna go for that in my next relationship. Be like, yeah, no, I'm old fashioned. I'm old freaking fashioned. One man, one woman, monogamy. It's not boring. It can be boring, but find the right person. That's how it should be. I'm not inviting a third person in. I mean, occasionally, maybe. I digress. All right. This is Minnie at 5. Oh my gosh, my thoughts. I'm going to go out this weekend, I swear. All right. I got to go out and get some male attention. I'm sorry. I just do. I'm getting it all the time, but I need direct and male attention. So I'm going out and you'll hear about it next week. Anyway. Hope y'all have a great weekend. And until next time, see you soon. So you know what? It's actually called a unicorn. Okay. So this is a follow-up from Minnie at 5 earlier when I was talking about, when I met Jeff Mallery and we got, delved into this whole polyamory thing and sex clubs and BDSM and all that stuff, right? All right. So we went to this sex club in Baltimore, Maryland called Taboo, Tabu. Fun as fuck. I mean, fun as fucking fuck. Did I just say 3 F's? Fun? Yeah, fun as fucking fuck. Okay, I mean that. I stand by that shit. Okay, I go again. Okay, no, Minnie, wait, no, what? Okay, what the fuck? It was just fun, all right? I saw a stripper pole. I saw orgies. I saw all cool, wild shit. I go in there, I was like, this is Sodom and Gomorrah. Because I am a Christian girl. I grew up in Catholic school, right? So I walk in, I see all this shit. I'm like, Sodom and Gomorrah. Sodom and Gomorrah. I kid you not. That's how I was, man. I was like, what the fuck? Okay, so we walk in, right? And I totally delve into this thing. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I learned there's this term, like, it's a unicorn. That's like how they saw me, like these sex parties and shit. They're like, because I was single. I wasn't married to Jeff Mallery at the time, right? We were just dating, and I was like, yeah, whatever. Let's explore. Okay, whatever. And there's this whole thing in the community, like this unicorn, this beautiful woman or whatever. And she's either bisexual or whatever. I don't know. And she's like totally looking for a couple. Okay, a couple, and a couple's looking for her. A couple wants a unicorn. They want someone who's going to come into their relationship, she kind of, whatever, there's rules at whatever, but it adds something to your marriage or whatever, because it's fun. I guess it's variety. It's just something, spice things up. Okay, so we went to this one sex party. Okay, this was intriguing. Look, I did not think anything was going to happen. I swear to God, I was like, fucking Jeff, nothing's going to happen at sex party. Nothing, right? Okay, so we like drive there. Like we found them on this, I think, how the fuck did we find them? I don't fucking remember. But we found out there was a house party, all right? So this is what happens, right? So they like, you get invited to this house, beautiful fucking house, right? With, I don't know, like fucking 50 people, right? And they had their whole basement got listening to this shit. So first of all, they charged. Yeah, They charged you a fee at the door to get in, right? And they made their whole entire basement a whole freaking sex club. Can't you fuck not? Oh my God. So I like go in. I'm like, okay, what? Okay, what's going on here? Let's intriguing. I was like dressed sexy as fuck. I think I don't know what the hell, but I was fucking hot. So I go in, right? And meet this couple. We meet this couple, Jeff and I. And some freaking hot. Oh, wait. Back up. So, backing up. I go down and I check out their sex dungeon, right? They got a whole disco floor. Kid you fuck not. A disco, they like had like a disco like installed in the basement somehow. Like they redone the basement to like a club. Their basement was a goddamn sex club, man. A disco, a DJ, like freaking lights. I started dancing, sexy dancing with some really sexy other African American women. We were like only two that were black. And we just started sexy dancing, right? I was like, this is right. And she's a unicorn. So she's like an acclaimed one. She's like, yeah, I'm just here to meet a couple. I'm like, okay. Meanwhile, Jeff and I are in this relationship. I'm like, Jeff, I don't know about this. I don't know if I want another woman like kissing you and having sex with you while I watch. I don't really. Are you sure you want me to be in this position where you're watching? Right? Is that a thing like for you? He's like, yeah, I'll get off on that. I sound like, oh no. Okay, so meanwhile, I like go about my thing. I'm mingling. I'm like, okay, let me meet these people. And a lot of them are just like, yeah, business professionals, white collar people. They're just like, yeah, this is our thing. I'm like, you fucking, fucking perverts. What the fuck are you guys doing? I had no idea. Okay, I'm in. Okay, so meanwhile, I'm like wandering around the house, right? I find this, and then I go back to the dungeon, right? Because I was like busy off being social. I like see Jeff kissing some blonde woman who's in the middle of having three other men like on her, down there. I'm like, what the fuck? Okay, what happened here while I was like upstairs there dancing with, another unicorn? Dancing. What the fuck, Jeff, are you doing? And so I was like jealous and I like started crying and I was like, this is not the life I want. I know what. Okay, so listen. So that happened. We had like this big thing. So I was like talking to the woman who he was kissing and I was like, this isn't what I want. I don't like this. I have a jealous streak. If I see this shit, I'm gonna be like, fuck you, no. I don't agree. No, he's mine, right? No, fuck you. And so somehow, right, I don't know, probably I had some drinks. I'm going to just say I was drunk. I'm just going to say that shit right now. They had like an open fucking bar and there was just booze every goddamn where. I'm a fucking alcoholic, right? So meanwhile, you put an alcoholic in this situation, goddamn, what do you expect? Okay, so then there was this couple. Yeah. And this couple, we met them. They were like both attorneys, right? I'm like, oh yeah, both attorneys. Okay, yeah. And they're like, hey, And so the guy like wanted me to, yeah. And so meanwhile, we ended up like both of us, me and Jeff with the couple, really, it happened right there in a living room with everybody there. It was a thing, man. People were just at the house, like, doing whatever they freaking wanted. Like, freaking Solomon Gomorrah. Swear to God. God. And so, yeah, I mean, it was literally just oral. I mean, not just oral, because I don't just do oral. I mean, I don't want to get into details. Oral. Okay. And then Jeff, we were both, I was like, okay, that was interesting. That's what that's like, right? So, but the unicorn is with you without, so that would be me without Jeff. Okay. That would be me with the couple. That's the thing. And everybody loves that whole unicorn thing. And I was like, Jeff, I could just leave you and be a unicorn and just bounce around and have fun if I want to, right? I'm like high demand as a unicorn. And, so that was kind of the thing, but it was really interesting. And then at the sex club, right, you can get in as a female back when we were going, like without paying or some shit. But the male, if you're single, had to have like a woman with them in order to get in. It's like all these rules, but it is so freaking interesting. I mean, I met like a couple of couples, just normal freaking people. They just kind of have a fetish, right? They're just like, or they're like, their marriage has been like 20 plus freaking years or something. And they're like, let's spice it up, right? There's nothing wrong with that. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. If y'all have like rules in place and know what to expect. And it's usually from, oh, MNG, I met this one couple. Oh, yeah, I did. And we became friends, kind of. Yeah, she's on my Facebook. Okay, so I met this one couple, right? And I was like, I don't get this girl. And she was like, yeah, well, my husband's okay with it, right? He's okay that I see this other man, right? He's fine. He's okay. And it boosts my self-esteem. And I'm like, what? And she's like, yeah, I went on a date with this other guy. My husband knows about it, knows about him. We're cool. I'm like, huh? But on the flip side, though, right? My neighbor had a relationship. Well, his wife wanted to be polyamorous, and then she ended up leaving because I guess she found somebody else better. So that's the risk you take with the polyamory, guys. That is a risk. You're like, do you have like a stable relationship that you can add a third person in, and you don't think it's gonna rock the relationship you have? I don't know. You gotta think about that. You're right. So for me right now, I'm like, I don't freaking know. I'm single. I can do what the fuck I want. I'm open. I'm kind of open, but within my morals. I have morals. I do. Yeah, I do. Even drunk, I do. And yeah, I do. So that's the thing. So I don't know. I took myself off of the fetish website. I did, because I was getting so freaking much. It was ridiculous. Like my email box blew up. I didn't have like 3,000 somethings or some shit. I was like, fuck, this is crazy. And all the men were just like, they were just, oh my MNG. Honesty, though. So if you want honesty, go to one of those demo websites and they'll tell you all their weirdo kinks and shits, and you'll be like, yeah, no. Yeah, this is what the world looks like today, guys. Full of kinks, full of polyamory. I'm like, where are the traditionalists? Where are the like monogamy? Where the fuck are those guys? I want one of them. Oh no. It's just who I am, I guess. Anyway, yeah, it's a song. Who I am. I'm gonna go sing that song. It's a country song. I'm digressing. Look, it's still fucking 5 o'clock in the morning. I need a nap or something. Alright, guys, this is my day. I'll talk to you probably at noon. I might lose my keys again, and some homeless guy might return them. I might get locked out of my RV again because the keys got locked in the bottom. I fucking know. It's like Minnie's World, and something always, I swear, I kid you not. I mean, I might curse out a judge again. I fucking hung up on that fucker. Seriously? I might sue another hospital this week. I mean, fucking really. Stay tuned, guys. It's only going to get funnier in Minnie's World. And I'm on Spotify. So guess how to find me on Spotify. You just go to Spotify and just type in Minnie. Go on to podcast, right? And type in Minnie, and you'll have July. Because July is going to be up. I'm going to post July. And you'll have all of July. You can listen to me in your car. Isn't that great? All right. Anyway, until next time, guys. See you soon.